Hey, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. What up, everybody? I gotta mute though. I'm listening to the stream because I want to see the chat. If anybody even pops up, I'm going to throw this link to Tristan and we are going to have a conversation. So, where's Tristan? Tristan. There you go. That's my keyboard. I'd like you to meet it. It's very loud and it's Dan's favorite thing ever. Hi, Yohan. Hi, Tom. What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a good day. Let's pop out this chat. I'm super low energy and I look like a total slob, so I'm not turning on my camera. Plus, I really don't want to have to wear clothes. So that's what's up. I'm anti-clothes today. So that's what's up. The description is a joke, guys. we're not actually gonna fight or anything. No debate me, bro. It's just so funny to me to use that language. Debate me, bro. You're such a pussy. I can't believe you wouldn't debate me. You can't debate me. Yeah. Shut your mouth. How's everybody's afternoon going? Tell me, chat. How was your afternoon? Your evening? Your day? Yeah, it's a cool photo effect. I've been using this glitch app a lot lately because I like the tripped out shit because I'm a huge proponent of psychedelics and stuff myself, and I like the effect. It reminds me of being in those mind altered states, so I quite like them. Hey Tony, what's up? No, there's no LARPing. There's no debate. Hardcore gentlemen. No debate. We're just gonna have a chat. Hi, Christopher. Hey. Oh, there's Tristan. Hey,
What's up, Aimee? How you doing?
Hey. I'm really low energy and I look like a slob and I'm all lazy, so pardon me for not turning on the camera.
Low energy, sad.
Yeah, I know, totally. I apologize. I don't know what happened. I passed out at like 10 o'clock last night, Tristan, and I woke up at fucking 10 a.m. this morning like a shitbag.
Overslept.
Yeah, totally. Who's that behind you?
Oh, it's my friend Bill.
Hey, Bill. Fuck you too.
Yeah, Fish is playing 3 nights in Denver.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing all 3 nights of it. It started last night and it ends on Sunday night. That's what we do every Labor Day.
Yeah. I'm showing you guys. Look, I'm wearing a shirt that has the biggest hole in it ever.
Oh shit!
I'm totally a shitbag. I'm not even wearing any pants. So
you had already put on your shirt when you needed to shave your armpits, and you just went a little crazy.
Oh yeah, my armpits need to be shaved. That'll be today.
I was thinking the hole, you know.
Oh yeah, right in here. That's how I shave.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what's going on. I'm gonna unclick my box though.
Okay, let me get this camera adjusted. So, what's up? What have you been up to? Tell me about it.
So guess what? I'm almost finally finished reading the blank slate. Look at how many notes I have in here.
What did you
that
think?
I've made?
Holy shit!
Yeah,
wow.
I know.
I do a lot of notes for books, but I keep them in my iPhone, and since they're iCloud notes, I am able to like pull it up on an iPad, my computer. It's all synced up to the cloud, so it's really easy to access.
I don't know. It's just not as effective for me to put things in my notebook on my phone. I do try to use it, but I fail. I do a lot better when I physically write things down. So I have like several notebooks. I have this weird thing where I just purchase them and then they go unused for a while and then I start writing again. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird because I can't remember. Maybe I probably absorb 30% of the books that I listen to at work. And that's kind of shitty. So sometimes I'll go back through and check my notes just to make sure that there isn't some answer that I've already had in the past that I'm looking for in whatever topic. Currently, I'm going through Robert Wright's Non-Zero. It goes into a lot of like evolutionary game theory, just like game theory in general, and how society is, how there are mathematics that can predict the progress of society, which direction society's going in. It goes through various societies throughout history, et cetera, et cetera. It's one of these like grandiose novels, like the Blank Slate is very topic specific, but Better Angels Lower Nature was extremely grandiose.
But here's the thing, though. It's topic specific, but it explains how that particular topic actually permeates through so many of the things we talk about today. So, like, this blank slate theory is not the only thing he talks about. He talks about the blank slate, the noble savage, and also the ghost in the machine. There's something operating in the brain that is controlling it that we have control over. You know, that idea.
Did you go into the book believing in any of those things?
Himself? No, he's very anti those things.
Oh, I was asking whenever you started reading the book.
Oh, no, not really, because I've already gotten over the notion of free will because I read Sam Harris before I read this.
Yeah.
And then I also read his book, How the Mind Works.
Oh, yeah, that one's also
and the language, not the language instinct, the stuff of thought, language is a window.
That one's also good.
Oh my God, that's an excellent book, right? So in that book, he actually explains very thoroughly how there's already certain structures, grammatical structures and things already in our brains.
Do you subscribe to the universal grammar theory?
What's that? I haven't even heard.
So it's this idea that the human brain, like I would assume that your mass modularity, like as far as theory of mind is concerned, like because you seem to gravitate more towards evolutionary psychology and biological explanations for behavior.
Yeah.
So in mass modularity, you've got basically your brain's composed of a variety of modules that are connected, and the modules aren't completely open. So the blank slate idea is that your brain is totally shaped by your environment.
Yeah, exactly.
So the blank slate, it put forth like a modularity version of mind in which you have a variety of modules that do very narrow tasks efficiently, and your brain is actually composed of those, and it's not open.
Yeah.
And so earlier in his career, he did this thing called the universal grammar theory, which ties back to what's that random asshole that all these leftists like, Noam Chomsky.
Oh my God, no!
Yeah, Noam Chomsky, it was like one of his linguistic theories from like the 60s or 70s, and Pinker picked it up and actually did some really cool stuff with it. It seems like the truth they've discovered is a little bit different, but it's pretty similar. So what you're talking about is language learning. We have these modules that already have certain syllables, certain sounds that humans are going to naturally gravitate towards making. So you're inevitably going to end up with some kind of language that combines these various syllables to describe the world around you. And that makes language learning innate. Like, even if you don't actively try to teach somebody to learn language, they're going to pick it up on their own because humans are just like pre-programmed to learn language. And I think that's probably true. All the evidence supports.
Well, I mean, it's just of course it is. It's just like how we have like certain geometrical structures in our brain as well, right? To recognize certain shapes and the configurations of certain shapes. I mean, these things are innate.
Yeah,
it's how we've built ourselves, like little cells got together based around this knowledge that just kept growing as things evolved, right?
And once you get really deep into it, like sacred geometry, you find out that Alex Gray has created a portal to another dimension with his paintings, and you just got to align your chakras to Alex Gray's sacred mirrors, and you'll astral project into
people have these crazy experiences on DMT, and they think that like there's some there's some like that is a good thing. Oh my God, I can't speak
They
right now.
think that
That
this
is
new
like
age shit.
evidence for like a metaphysical world that exists outside of the mind where all these minds congeal and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like along with Eastern religion, there was an academic push for that through like Carl Jung, whatever. So whenever Peterson is citing this guy and trying to turn Christianity into some kind of accessory in Jungian psychology, it's weird because he literally is pulling some Deepak Chopra shit.
Oh my God, I can't stand that guy. Deepak
Yeah,
Chopra annoys me so much.
like Peterson legitimately is the Deepak Chopra of
Oh
Christianity.
my God, did you watch any of the postings of the Sam Harris debate in
Yeah,
Vancouver?
I
Because
heard
Sam
that
Harris
couple.
actually said that to Jordan Peterson. He's like, the only thing your glasses are missing are the rhinestones. It was quite funny. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
but yeah, you just got to get your chakras aligned, and
Yeah.
everything turns
Everything
out.
will be fine.
Yeah, uh huh.
I feel like if you drink more water, everything will be fine.
Well, water is actually a doorway to this other realm that
Yeah.
you achieve whenever you either smoke DMT at Alex, not Alex Jones, Alex Gray's theme park.
Alex
Um,
Jones.
yeah, and then no, on the other side is Alex Jones, and Alex
Yeah.
Jones is like laughing and like fapping to tranny porn the whole time. It's like really fucking intense. You just got to smoke enough DMT to get there.
He's totally kicked off the internet and out of life right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Did you see the trap Alex Jones discovery?
No.
So Alex Jones likes trap porn, like straight
Oh,
up.
right. Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
Can I please tell you that somebody posted mine and Vegan Gains debate on Pornhub and the title of it? Oh my God, Tristan, the title of it is Mia Khalifa goes on a romantic date with Vegan Gains.
That's
Oh
pretty
my God,
good.
that's so funny. I can't even believe that. So what did you think of that, by the way? Let's just get right into it.
At first I was frustrated, like maybe the first 15, 20 minutes. And then I saw what you were doing. You were just trying to showcase the fact that this guy doesn't have a good handle on his behavior. And you were just saying the exact right things, doing the right things to just make him freak out for an hour and a half.
I was so chill, man. He was really
But you were chill, and that's the thing. The fact that he was so easily provoked, it was just a showcase of that. So once I saw that happening, I just started laughing. I thought it was funny for like the next hour or whatever. And but yeah, initially I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. Like I found the conversation very frustrating, but once I found it funny, it was good.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of Vegan Gains, though, are you?
I used to like his content quite a bit because it's edgy humor, or at least it was clear to me that he's pulling humor. But then I stepped back from it and saw the way that he was treating some people. A good example of this would be Swayze, a natural vegan. He did a set of videos recently where he continuously said she was inbred and said that she wasn't vegan, even though he didn't provide any evidence for her not being vegan thing. And it's just seeing the way that he's treating people who were just trying to talk to him. Was a big turnoff. I mean, it's still entertaining because just watching people freak out is fun. But I couldn't, in good faith, support and watch a lot of his stuff after that. Especially seeing the fact that they didn't catch the AIU joke or the fact that they picked on Devin when Devin is living a mostly vegan life. So I thought that was a really bad decision.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable approach to say, look, meat's going to be difficult for me to give up, or I don't want to. Therefore, in order to come to some sort of compromise, I'm willing to minimize or reduce the amount of meat that I eat, right? But
yeah, reduce vegetarianism.
Okay.
That's the path that a lot of people take. Have I told you the story of how I ended up vegan to begin with?
No, tell me.
Well, whatever I tell you now is going to be kind of bullshit because you know how memories are. They're just reinvented.
I
So
like how you said that because a lot of the time we often like I know that too, but I just discount that fact and I tell stories from the past anyway, and I'm like, that's probably not how it happened at all.
I know, yeah. What it is it's your current attitude about whatever it
Yeah.
is, and then
Is
it's you
applied to
like
your
reinterpreting
past.
details through your
Yes,
current attitude.
exactly. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
I know it is weird. It sucks that like memory doesn't really exist like everybody thinks it does, but
Yeah. But you know what?
whatever.
I think there's a value to forgetting. Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I hate it whenever I do things that are embarrassing and I just can't forget.
Yeah.
It will stick with me for years. I got really drunk one time and then like started talking shit to somebody at a bar and like wanted to fight them.
Hmm.
And the fight was so petty. And I look
Yeah.
back at that and I just like feel this like weird cringe. I'm like, that
But
was
I mean,
me.
that's good to remember because you don't want to do that again, right? There's obviously certain things that are good to remember to prevent you from doing those things. And then there's certain
Yeah.
things you do not need to remember, like, oh my God, I fell one time and everybody fucking laughed at me. And it's like, that was an accident. You don't need to hold on to the bullshit from that or like a bad breakup or something you're never going to need to have in your life again. You know what I mean? Like, take the lessons and move on. I don't know how else to really explain that.
Yeah, I think there is adaptive function to whenever you do something stupid when you're drunk
Yeah.
or whatever.
Hmm.
But my story, as far as I can remember it, I was in college, and there was this professor. I was in a class called Philosophy is Conversation,
Hmm.
and we had gotten into Peter Singer,
Oh,
and
right. Yeah.
we were going through his stuff, and the argument was brought up that animal lives can exceed the lives of humans. And this
Hmm.
was just so fucking ridiculous to me that I was very outspoken in that series of classes. And I was like, no fucking way, humans are always better in every circumstance.
Hmm.
And he brought up some hypotheticals that I was having trouble juggling
Hmm.
and brought up simple facts that are frequently mentioned, like okay, cool. We ordered a pizza. It's going to be here in a minute.
Yeah.
Just a second. All right. So he brought up certain facts like, look, there are vegan options available, et cetera, et
Hmm.
cetera. You don't need to be killing these animals. And if you kill enough animals, then their little amount of value is going to exceed your value as a human.
Hmm.
And I hated this idea, and I fought it, and fought it, and fought it, and he kept on kicking my ass every conversation.
Hmm.
I kept on trying, but I failed. And I spent the next like 6 or 7 months thinking about this in my spare time.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be wrong, right? Because we often use a heuristic, like if everybody around us is doing something,
Hmm.
if society is built around something, then it can't be immoral, right?
Yeah.
So I knew that he had to be wrong. So I looked into it over like the next 6 or 7 months, trying to find a good counter to this guy's arguments.
Hmm.
And I never could. And still to this day, I can't find, I haven't encountered arguments that exceed
Hmm.
um, the argument that was put on me. So eventually I just gave up and I was a vegetarian for a while.
Hmm.
I didn't really know about veganism, but okay, my Postmate is arriving soon. Um,
Are you gonna pause and leave? You gotta go soon.
well, no, they'll just come in and it'll be good. Hold on. Hey, Kelly. The food's almost here.
Tristan.
All right. Yeah, I may turn off camera because Kelly does hates
Yeah,
being on
go for
camera.
it
She
because
absolutely
I'm
hates it.
going to. I have to somehow banned Alfie. What the fuck, man? How did
Somebody
that
banned.
happen? No, he got banned probably because I was doing a lot of banning yesterday.
Uh,
And I guess somehow I banned him. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm so sorry, Alfie. Now I don't know how I'm gonna find him. I need you to comment on something so I can go and um make you an approved user. Fuck's sake, man. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
So I couldn't counter this guy's argument, so I was vegetarian for a while, and then eventually I got out of it due to some life events, and I was no longer a vegetarian. But I knew the whole time that was the correct answer, as far as I could tell, based on all the information that was available to me. I got the. Hey, all right, hold on. I'll be right.
Yeah, go do your thing. Alf, you should be able to talk in the chat now if you're there. Holy crap, that's so rude. Because I want to make you an approved user. I need to do that to the war kettle too. So Kelly Noodle, always approve comments. Yep. Because that's my bitch.
All right. So I moved away from it, but at the end of the day, I knew that it was the right answer as far as I could see. I still hadn't found a good counter argument. So I intended to move back to it. And then Kelly just brought it up to me after we'd been dating for, I want to say, about a year at that point. She was like, hey, Tristan, I think that we should go vegan. And I was like, why? I mean, what's the point of giving up milk and eggs? And she explained, like, chicken culling. And I knew the thing about milk, it having this massive greenhouse gas footprint. And I also didn't realize that the cows had to be forcibly impregnated. I guess I was just extremely naive to that process. And I was like, okay, yeah, I understand the like milk, cheese, and eggs thing now. So I was like, well, why don't you try it? I got it. Thank you. All right. I was like, why don't you try it and tell me how it goes? Because I don't know. I don't think I can give up all of those foods at once. It seems like it's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Nice. Is that vegan pizza?
Yeah, that's vegan pizza.
You guys have a vegan pizza place near you?
Yeah, it's like 2 miles away. Yeah, it's really good.
And they deliver and everything? Dude, it looks like it's super hot. You should relax.
Well,
That's like she knows where the islands are.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know anything about where you live. No.
If you go down to
I will go. You know, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about Colorado so much. He loved living there. And
oh, yeah, he lived over in Boulder.
I generally try anything that he recommends because
oh, yeah.
Rogan is just he may be a little bit of a caveman, but he is actually, I like his attitude, and I think he's actually a lot smarter than he's given credit in a different way.
I knew about Joe Rogan through like Moon Landing Doubt. And his what's that shitty show?
Oh, Fear Factor.
Fear Factor, yeah. I knew about him through that, and I was like, well, wait a minute, isn't this just some kind of fucking conspiracy theory nut? Like, why would the fuck would I watch this guy's show? And then Kelly was like, no, you gotta watch it. Listen to this episode with Sam Harris. I was like, oh, Sam Harris went on there? Well, he must be legit
like 3 times now, yeah.
And then she pulled it up, and then I was listening to it. I'm like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. So I listened to him off and on in the past. Just depends on who he has on, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was like, let's go vegan. And I was like, I don't know. It seems like it's going to fucking suck. Why don't you try it and tell me how it goes? So like, well, I'm going vegan right now. And I was like, okay, you go vegan and I will consider it based on your report. Just be honest with me. So a couple of weeks goes by and she's like, it really is pretty fucking easy. And she's making all these big vegan dishes and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'll try it for a week. And then I'm probably going to go back to my normal diet because I just can't imagine living without animal products. It seems kind of ridiculous. So I tried it for a week and I was like, wow, that really wasn't hard. And I mean, now it's like years later and I'm still vegan after all this time. And it's been pretty easy. I know that that isn't the case for many people, but it was really easy for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we get like vegan pizza and shit out here, but whenever I first went vegan, I was in Tennessee and we didn't have anything like this.
Yeah.
So, that's basically it.
That's basically it.
Yep.
See, I think what I'm gonna do is like in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna go and try a Beyond Burger. I was gonna try one a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, all the A&Ws around here did not have it. They were all out because people went crazy for them. So
Yeah, they're really good.
yeah, I hear. It's definitely probably going to become a thing at a lot of places over time. But I'm not opposed to trying it. Like I said, I'm not opposed to reducing my meat intake and changing things. I'm on keto right now though, so it's a little bit
Oh, that'll be definitely different.
Yeah, definitely. So, I gotta work on that.
Or are you trying to lose weight or whatever? Because keto is really good for short-term weight loss.
That, and I just want to try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Just a different kind of structure.
I did keto like many years ago, and the thing that stuck, like, it was fine and whatnot. I just kept on farting, and the smell of my farts was just so awful.
Why are you talking about this? I hate it.
Hey, I'm just trying to be real with you.
I don't seem to have that kind of problem.
Well, it's okay. It's just us here. You can talk about it, Aimee.
No, thanks. I'm good. I'll keep my bodily functions to myself.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So the vegan gains thing, like, I don't know. Here's the way I look at veganism at this point, because I've accepted and then rejected a number of the approaches that many vegans have.
Mm-hmm.
And like way stepping back and then trying to look at the whole thing from a distance. It's like, in reality, there are these animals that are caged up. They're caged up and their lives suck. Probably shouldn't even exist. A lot of these animals shouldn't exist, especially in the numbers that they're in. So, I can reduce that by just walking over to a different aisle in the grocery store. So I probably should do that. And the way I look at it, Devin always talks about the platinum rule.
What's the platinum rule? I've never even
It's like, just don't be an asshole, right?
Yeah.
So these beings have capacity for subjective experience. And if there's other food available to me and I can, that I can eat, and whereas in this other option, I am being a total fucking asshole to somebody for what amounts to very little reason in comparison to me having other options. I realize that it is, nurturing your body or whatever, but I mean, you can go over just one aisle in the grocery store. It's not that big of a deal. And so I can avoid being an asshole by just walking over a different aisle. And then I was like, yeah, actually seems like probably the best thing to do.
I guess. But it's more than just walking in a different aisle, isn't it?
What else is it?
I don't know. Just like, for me, it really is just a selfish pleasure thing. I just really enjoy eating animals. It feels so right. Like I can just my reward system is churning out some dopamine right now, and it's nice. I mean, I don't have to do it all the time, but it's a nice way to get a bit of a dopamine rush.
Yeah, I guess I never got a dopamine rush from eating meat. I mean, I've gotten plenty of dopamine rushes from other things, but so I don't really know what you're talking about there. Yeah, Bill eats meat. Hey, Bill.
I'm eating meat right now.
Yeah, he's eating meat.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm sorry. But I did just try the vegan sausage. And
I'm not a vegan, really good. So you're good with me.
She said you're good with her.
Oh, well, that's great. I just tried vegan sausage, and it was really, really good. So.
Yeah, so Bill, do you get a dopamine rush from eating meat?
Oh,
yeah, that is how it works.
Yeah, I love meat. That's why I got this brisket on here, because I love brisket so much. So yeah, I definitely get it.
That feeling of happiness and elation that you get after eating meat.
I just get it. I guess I get some kind of feeling of well-being from just eating in general, like just eating a meal.
Some idiot in the chat thinks I said adrenaline rush. You're an idiot. Alfie, I have made you a moderator so many times. I don't know what's happening. It's not turning you into a moderator. It's very weird. I accidentally, like, I was banning a bunch of comments, right? Not comments, but people, so it removes their comments. So I don't know how I banned Alfie, but I've made you an approved user, and I've tried to 3 times now select you and change you as a moderator.
We're done. Sorry. Get out of my life. Get out of my life, Alf.
No one said that you get an adrenaline rush from eating meat, you random retard.
No, you get a sense of well-being from just especially if I'm eating something I like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing that's stopping you is just I guess you have this habit of eating that you just accumulated from life, and you get a sense of well-being from it. In particular, am I following you on this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and yeah, many. Hold on, let me see what's up.
Is eating ass vegan? Tevin, you're such a brat. I don't know. He muted.
Okay, so yeah, you get a feeling of well-being from eating. I get a feeling of well-being from just eating in general. Do you get it from any other foods?
I really like eating. I'm really into nuts, Tristan, like cashews, walnuts, almonds, raw, unsalted.
Still down there if you want one.
Have you tried any of the nut milks?
Yes, I've tried almond milk. It's all right. I prefer coconut milk. I don't drink dairy. Like, I have coconut milk, but yeah, I stopped drinking dairy a while ago.
There's this new milk, it's just called like nut milk, and it's a variety. It's like a nut blend. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but is it high in carbs though?
I don't think so. No, I don't think it is.
Because there's barely any carbs in coconut milk. There's like nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, coconut milk tastes good. It just doesn't have hardly anything in it. Yeah, so maybe you should, in response, if you're trying to eat more plant-based food, maybe you should try to add more nuts in at the beginning, since they give you a similar feeling.
Well, I'm probably going to be on this keto shit for like 6 months. That's my plan. 6 to 8 months. With like with a break every month or so, where I just eat whatever I want.
Did you see that Joe Rogan is doing a debate between a vegan person and a paleo?
He's doing a debate?
Joe Rogan isn't going to be in the debate, but it's 2 doctors. One of them is vegan, and the other one is like paleo / keto / whatever. And so that should be pretty interesting. You should definitely check that out.
Okay, maybe I will do that. Did you hear about that guy in Toronto who had a restaurant who like was getting protested by vegans, and then he like slaughtered or he cut up a cow on the street? Fucking gangster. I really think that's super fucking rude, Tristan. Like, going to a restaurant and protesting, like, this is how people make their money. That guy goes hunting, he gets his meat. I don't understand what people's problem is.
But you would think that in any circumstance, you don't believe in protesting restaurants, just in general.
No,
right?
I just think that's really rude. I mean, I kind of get if you want to, like the whole Chick-fil-A gay thing. I don't even know. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's a restaurant not far from here. It went to the Supreme Court. It's a cake shop. And the people who are running it wouldn't make a cake for a gay wedding. Did you hear about this?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And there were all these people protesting it and so on. So you think that them protesting that is ridiculous as well, though? Is that right?
Protesting, yes. I think there's better ways to deal with things like that.
Yeah. So the statement that you're making isn't like, it isn't vegan specific, right? It's more broad.
Well, I mean, I think I noticed it the most with vegans. I've been hearing I've heard a lot of crazy stories, but protesting in general in that fashion, I just don't think is necessary. I don't think it's a productive means of moving a discussion forward. I don't think it's a good way to try and talk to somebody, because the thing that people are fighting about right now is things that they have they're very emotionally invested in, right? So like with veganism in particular, let's just talk about that one since that's the most recent one in my life that I see I just get so annoyed by. I understand, okay, that people have invested emotionally in these things and they really do think that it's something important to care about. But you're not going to make somebody who this is not important to, who has other things that they're emotionally invested in, care about it if you're going to be an asshole and like have total disrespect. When you're trying to change people's minds, and I'm sure you can agree, you want to be able to connect with them and talk with them and actually make them see from your point of view why this specific thing is so important and why they should care about it too. It is like saying, look, I have this stock option for you to invest in, and obviously you want the greatest returns and you want to feel good about investing in whatever that particular thing is. So you have to, there has to be points that are brought to bear. And especially with things like this, facts alone never change people's minds. They just don't.
You gotta make them subscribe to an attitude, right? If you look at persuasion science, you can change somebody's attitude through like very weird ways that are kind of counterintuitive, like slandering people and then like boosting up these fake benefits and like showing like, hey, look at this person, they're vegan. And it's like Freely the Banana Girl, like, which you're not going to turn into Freely by just going vegan, right? So you can change people's attitudes about things, and then they'll be more willing to accept facts. Otherwise, they'll just come up with some kind of excuse for facts not being real. If they want to investigate facts, they'll come up with some kind of counter idea to whatever facts it is. Yeah, facts are simple, facts are straight. It's lyrics from an 80s song, but from their perspective, do you want me to try to lay it out? Like, because I can see where they're coming from. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree with you as far as I think that it's probably doing more harm than good, but you know, I haven't seen it quantified, so I really don't know. If you're vegan, then you're constantly like.
But why is it all about veganism all the time? Like, is there not any other aspect to their personality?
Well,
and there isn't, right?
It's just the fact that there are these people who a really strong part of their identity is vegan, is vegan, and something that people misinterpret as veganism being a religion or whatever, but that's what it is. It's very core to their identity as a person.
It's so dogmatic the way that they behave with this thing. It's it screams so much of religious practices and the way that religious people behave, and even the most, you know.
So an example, like, I am a white person, obviously, right? I'm a white man.
No way. I thought you were black.
Right. So my identity as a white person isn't like even in the top 10 of my identities, right? The different identities that I hold. And I think that there are quite a few vegans, you know, like white people, who, you know, whereas if you're like Richard Spencer, it's far and away number one. Your identity as a white man is by far the most important of your identities. So you see him suggest things like having an ethno state, him saying things like, you know, we got to retake Constantinople. You know, and he looks really ridiculous from a distance. Because, and even to a lot of white people, it looks ridiculous. It's because that identity is far and away number one. I'll add to that as far as what's causing them the emotional range of sensations to where they find themselves being the one protesting some kind of butcher or whatever, right? So in day-to-day life, oftentimes veganism doesn't even come up. I just order my own food. I cook my own food. I, you know, do whatever. And it typically isn't something I really even think about.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah, it's just something I do, right? But occasionally it does come up. And whenever you're going to meet up with a friend or whatever, and they want to go to a restaurant, and you're like, well, do they have any vegan options? And so sometimes that will spawn into a conversation about how you're wrong for being a vegan. And like, oh my God, you know that veganism, it's like really a quick train to death right?
Mhm.
And they'll come up with these like, oh, vegans have heard all of the arguments a million times, and it's typically coming at them from people that are fairly close to them. So these people that are fairly close to them are telling them that they're making this massive mistake, and they're telling it based on information that the vegan already knows. So it's I'm trying to think of a good parallel. So I guess Christianity isn't that popular in Canada.
No, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I would have just
It's not as
assumed-
crazy as in America, no, but
Yeah. So whenever I first became an atheist at the
Mhm.
age of, I want to say it was like 12 or something,
Mhm.
13, I can't remember. It was a process very similar to veganism in the sense that there was this argument that I saw and I couldn't come up with a good counter argument to it. So eventually I just accepted that, you know, after looking, that's probably the truth.
yeah.
So whenever I first became an atheist, I was preteen or early teen years, and I started trying to proselytize to all the religious people I knew, like, hey, your religion is totally fake, right? And then you lay out the evidence, and then they immediately come at you with like a Pascal's wager or something, some kind of really shitty, generic pro-Christian argument.
Okay.
And you're like, oh no, I've already thought about Pascal's wager, and then they just kind of dismiss it and you just keep on moving on.
Yeah.
Or it may also come up with a family member wants you to go to church, and you're like, no, I don't believe in that. I don't think it's good that you're going to church. And then you have all of that emotional stuff from the family members trying to bring you to church.
Yeah.
So you've got to imagine that there is a fair amount of frustration that vegans have because they've accepted this position and the vast majority of the world hasn't. And they have good they have good reasons for being vegan, whether or not they're the reasons they provide or not. And it's the number one thing in some of their identities. So it feels right whenever they're striking back because a lot of day-to-day life.
It feels right to them, you mean?
Yeah, it feels right to them, exactly.
Okay.
For striking back because day-to-day life is often giving them hands that feel like an aggression. Like last week I was at a work function and it was like nothing but meat in every option or cheese, right? So I had to like go buy my own meals, and it was frustrating. Like, did you think that maybe people didn't want meat in every single meal on every single item? Like, did that ever dawn to you? Right? That's how it felt. But they just simply weren't thinking about it. And if I tried to approach them as the aggressor, then they're going to be more inclined to dismiss whatever it is that I'm seeing.
But does that actually bother you? Because it seems like to me, right? I eat meat, so it's like, yeah, most people do. So they're going to cater to what most people do. That's how the free market generally.
Are you allergic to anything?
Bees, nothing food wise that I know of. Oh, actually, I think more recently I've recognized that I am allergic to pomegranate, which sucks. I go anaphylactic eating pomegranate seeds.
Wouldn't it be weird if pomegranate was in every item at a work function? And you're like, what the fuck?
No, because it's different. Like, you can't compare an allergy to a dietary choice.
Well, as far as at the very end of the day, whether the two of them are brought about by totally different conditions, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the point being is that you don't eat certain like meats and so on. And if you don't eat meat for years, then just having a little bit of it makes you sick because your body isn't used to digesting that anymore, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it happens, right?
Okay.
So they have pomegranate in every item, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why would there be pomegranate in every single item? So you find that kind of frustrating, right? I mean, I would if I were you.
But I mean, if pomegranate was something popular, no, not really. I mean, what about the people who are allergic to nuts? Like, so many things are processed in plants where, you know, things have come into contact with nuts and peanuts. So
yeah, but it would still be weird if every single item on a bar would have nuts in it, right? Do you think?
But no, I mean, considering what I just explained, it's not that weird. That's what I'm saying, right? Like when a majority of people eat meat and there's a function happening and money needs to be spent, you're going to spend money on the items that more people are going to consume. Otherwise, it's a waste of money.
Sure. I think that so here's the thing. I think that we can agree, though, at the end of this conversation, whether or not, I think it would be ridiculous if there's pomegranate in every item, right? Or nuts or items that have been processed. It just logistically, I think that would be kind of ridiculous. But at the end of the day, both scenarios provide an instance where you can't eat the food, and there's plenty of food available, and you've got to go somewhere else because you can't eat the food, right?
Yeah.
And that's frustrating.
I guess so, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just more chill about it. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks. I have to go get my own meal or whatever. But at the same time, if there's only like 3 vegans out of 100,
yeah. So here's the thing. Whenever I'm actually put in this position, like I'm slightly annoyed, but that's how I rationalize it, the way that you just did.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if you try to ask them about, do you think you could provide a vegan option or some kind of item that just doesn't have animal products in it?
Mm-hmm.
And they want to start off with a debate about animal products, right?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, because everybody wants to debate you.
Yeah.
And
okay.
So that all of these little elements are frustrating whenever they pop up, because it seems like, and a lot of times vegans aren't even the ones who initiate it. So that happens to a person enough, and that happens to a person enough, and eventually they're like, they can turn into a vegan gains, right? It just depends on how you handle yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that speaks to a deeper psychological issue.
Well, yeah,
like, little
at the end
things
of the
like
day,
this are gonna be something that you have to deal with. I understand that there can be frustration present, especially if you think that you're doing something good and other people are doing something bad. You've already created these categories in your mind, so you can. What you're doing is you're picking a place where you can direct your inner bullshit at people. And people use veganism as a channel through which to get that aggression out. That's not correct. That has nothing to do with veganism, Tristan.
It doesn't, no. But the point of this conversation at this moment is to describe to you how somebody turns into that in a way that you can at least follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I understand why he's turned out like that. I mean, it doesn't take much of it really doesn't take that much deliberation or thought
to understand how somebody becomes somebody protesting a butcher.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, there
and
has
you
to
just
be.
find it annoying from your position. Is that right?
I find it annoying from a live and let live, because that's my modus operandi. You know, live and let live. Like, try not to get in people's way and shit. There's certain things that are worth causing that much of a fuss over, and there's certain things that aren't.
A lot of vegans are looking at that live and let live philosophy. It's like core to who they, what they're doing as becoming a vegan. They're not being an asshole, right?
But they are assholes.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to whether or not you're an asshole to like being rude to somebody compared to keeping some let's pretend you kept some kind of retarded person in a cage, etc., right? Or no, even better, a dog. Let's pretend you kept a dog in a cage and it shat on itself and so on. And that dog's experience versus you having somebody be rude to you's experience. You can see how them being rude is justified if they're doing it to somebody who is keeping this dog in a cage and just letting the dog shit on itself and so on, being abusive towards the dog, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the explanation. That's why there are these people on the fringes of veganism that are like that. That's how they're approaching this thing. Now, you could say that your personal pleasure from eating the meat overrides that dog in a cage being shitting on itself, etc., etc. But from a vegan's perspective, that seems like a dick move. You valuing your own personal pleasure over that dog's pain.
Okay.
I mean, are you following me? Like,
I get it. It just sounds like you're trying to make it okay, like the rudeness. I get why it's justified.
Yeah,
I get how they justify it in their head. I just don't think that out in the world it's actually justified.
It's counterproductive. So the weird irony here is that they're actually making people less inclined to help the dog out. They're making people more inclined to say fuck that dog. Right.
Exactly.
And no, it's a total mess.
So now the question is when you can't even get someone, and like I'm pretty disarming, I would think. I'm not really rude unless I'm treated like shit first, which he did, right? The night before. I'm going to go back to this vegan gains thing. So the night before, he was on Twitter and he was tweeting at me to debate him, right? And I said, look, the only way I'll debate you about the thing you want to talk about is if we first talk about your conduct. And then what happened when we first talked about it, or when I attempted to? He screamed at me to give him examples. I gave him examples, and he still kept saying, give me examples, give me examples. That is his failure to actually connect with the conversation and what's happening. Now, why should I connect with you as a human being when you're trying to get me to care about something and can't even connect with me? And you're trying to like get me to be connected to this thing you care about, but you don't even care about me enough to respect me and like not lie and be like, oh, you were trying to weasel out of the debate. No, bitch, I wasn't really going to take you seriously to begin with. That was the fucking point, because you're such a cunt. And people are like, you lost that debate, Aimee. And I'm like, these people still don't get it.
Logically eviscerated you.
I know. Like, this girl needs
Vegan Gains is like the fucking sensei master of logical evisceration. And
oh my God.
You got your shit fucking kicked in, you stupid skank bitch.
Yeah,
brown-titted bitch.
Dude, like, these people were coming onto my channel and like, I hope she gets raped. I hope this bitch gets stabbed in the throat. And I'm like, wow, you guys are supposed to not be assholes. You're like over here and you're trying to be like, oh my God, the poor animals, but fuck you.
So yeah, they're operating on what's called the moral licensing effect. Have you ever heard this phrase? So that operation, the academic term for the conversation that we just had is called the moral licensing effect. Right? So the moral licensing effect is I've done good in A, B, C. Now these other people haven't done good in A, B, and C, and therefore I could be a total dick in D, and that's still my A, B, and C is still greatly overpowers the D, right?
Yeah.
And that's called the moral licensing effect. And you find that a lot of times the people who are most inclined to shoplift, for example, are like housewives who are very good to their children and husband and end up taking a lot of bullshit from a lot of people, but they do it with a happy face. And the way that mommy gets her revenge is going to Macy's and loading up on like $1,000 worth of spec, right?
Yeah.
And so that's called the moral licensing effect. And they're a really good example of that in action, right? So Vegan Gains, is operating the moral licensing effect. So he thinks that, calling you a stupid skank Indian curry smelling bitch is like totally fine. I don't know, I'm just making up insults. Insults that are similar to the ones that I've seen in other vegan places that you have been in, and seeing the way that people treat you. And what's weird about this is, you may be a good person in A, B, and C, but by being a person in D, I mean, you're still being a dick, right? You probably still shouldn't be a fucking dick to people, because you want them to listen to you on A, B, and C. Right?
Exactly.
And I think that they see people like you as a lost cause,
Yeah.
The fact that you just listened to me and agreed with the stuff I was saying about why we probably shouldn't eat animal products.
But you're still gonna be a
But you're still gonna do it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I assume you would. I lived like that for a long time, and then it just took. And that's just kind of the way that life is. It just takes like the right circumstances at the right moment with the right person or whatever to get you to actually change.
Yeah.
My attitude had changed long, like years before I went full vegan, and it just took some. My wife. Well, she's my wife now. She's just my girlfriend at the time. It just took her saying, "Hey, let's go vegan." And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then she started going forward with it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, it's just kind of the way that things actually are. And you don't want people to you don't want to experience the backfire effect, right? You know about the backfire effect, right?
Tell me about it.
Okay, so whenever you argue with people online, you're actually oftentimes doing disservice to your cause.
Yeah.
And the reason for this is two opposing people come into a discussion with their attitudes, right? Let's pretend you're pro-Trump, right?
Okay.
And I'm anti-Trump. So I see you and say, hey, you're into locking little children into cages. You're into grabbing women by the pussy. You're the worst kind of person. You're justifying all of this because you're secretly a white nationalist, right?
Yeah.
And
secretly, I don't even think that's a secret.
Right. Oh, I know you are. But, a lot of times they actually aren't, but you definitely are. So I am. But okay, so they hear this coming, like, oh, I bet you like Hillary. I bet you think that CNN is real news. I bet that you. Did you see the way that you just waved your hand over all those emails that she deleted? Where's the fucking emails? You know that if Hillary was in, we'd have open borders right now, and everything would be fucked up. People would be getting shot and robbed, etc. So these two people are coming in with these two attitudes, and because they're being attacked, it actually strengthens their attitude coming into the conversation, right? And there's this misunderstanding about the backfire effect that people just won't listen to facts that are being presented to them. And they will listen to facts, but they won't change their attitude based on those facts, right? They'll just come up with some kind of additional reason why, Trump is the best candidate. Like, oh, well, maybe he wasn't right in this one area, but Trump is still the best because, Hillary would have gotten us into war with Russia, right?
Okay.
And that's the way the backfire effect works. And what I see in you is a lot of the vegans approaching you in a way to prompt the backfire effect in yourself. These vegans have been attacking you. So therefore, whenever you see like vegan shit, you're like, oh my fucking God, these vegans are crazy, blah, blah, blah. Is that accurate or not? It is?
What? I actually stopped paying attention like 30 seconds ago.
Well, shit. I'm used to, and this is a problem that I found with some of the AIU people. Traditionally, I've had these conversations.
Oh, I freak out now when I see vegan stuff, and I'm like, oh, great. No, I don't freak out when I see vegan stuff. The only time I have a reaction like that, Tristan, is when I'm getting all this ridiculous commentary that has nothing to do, and that is so uncoupled from reality. Like, people are so clueless as to what was happening during that debate. Like, how can you think that was a debate?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A thing about myself, like I've traditionally had conversations with people where each person speaks for like 3 minutes, and we go off into these like really long, into these like really deep, random places or whatever. And oftentimes in the AIU Discord, there are so many people, each person needs to say like a sentence or two, so there isn't opportunity for. And that's just how online life is in general. There's nobody wants to read a book written by somebody else or whatever. So I'll ask you this. Do you think that you would be more inclined or less inclined to go vegan than you would before you had your interaction with vegan gains?
Well, my decisions are independent of vegan gains, but he certainly makes me want to be a vegan less. Just to be spiteful. I'm not going
Right.
to. I'm probably
The
gonna still.
attitude.
Yeah, I'm probably
Yeah.
still gonna try and reduce my meat intake just because it's something that I want to do, but it's not gonna go away. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially not on keto right now. Like I'm really stuck on this keto thing. I mean, it's the easiest low carb, high protein thing I can eat.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is that keto is pretty good for short term, but it's not something you want to stay on for.
No. Of
right.
course not. Yeah.
And that's just me being 100% honest. If I wanted to be ideological about it, I would say keto is really fucking horrible all the time. Never do it or whatever. But my understanding is no, it does have some short-term benefits.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
High fat, high protein. Well, high fat, like definitely not nearly. It's like 75% fat, 20% protein, and like 5% carbs in the day.
Set this over there. All right. So by interacting with vegan gains, you feel less inclined to become vegan just as a result. And that feeling that you have, the attitude that's underlying, that's the backfire effect in action, right? And a number of us regular vegans are worried that them doing this is causing a fairly widespread backfire effect, right? And that seems to be also one of your beliefs. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I think what a lot of people are using veganism as is just like a channel through which they like where they can put their rage and funnel it outward. It's just
right.
a funnel. I don't think they actually care about the cause, because again, if they did, they would not be talking to people like that who they actually need on their side to help them further their cause. And I think it's really ignorant to not take that into consideration. I mean, it just makes sense. If you want people to care, regardless of what it is, you need to get them on your side, and you're not going to get them on their side like that
by being a dick, right?
Yeah, and you're just going to get.
So their retort to this would be, this is clearly bullshit. Like, yeah, Aimee may not be inclined to become vegan, but we're not after Aimee. We're after Aimee's fans, right? Which, I mean, come on, but
which is like the AIU thing now.
I have been contacted by many people in the AIU community who came to me because they just knew that, you know, Devin, Aimee, Rowan, all of them are bullshit, right? And bullshit. They came to me because they were interested in veganism. So this is actually a line directly from Ask Yourself when he was talking to Vegan Gains in their third reply video. And yes, there were people I watched it myself, a number of AIU fans that I knew that went into Ask Yourself's Discord and pretended to be interested in veganism, right? And contacted him privately. But what were they actually doing? They were reporting back to us the whole time and screenshotting shit. That was like what was really happening, right? So this idea that were all of these AIU fans that were interested, how many of them are still around? I mean, that beef is over, and some of them are still around and send us images of things, but we know who they are. We know what's actually happening from that other side. So this idea that he's secretly converting all these AIU fans is just absurd. I mean, I don't see any way of that it's been quantified.
I just don't understand how these guys have such a high opinion of themselves.
Well,
I've converted like literally thousands of people. Okay, like literally thousands have been converted by Richard.
I don't know if you know this. One of the people that like Vegan Gains' his mentor, Ask Yourself.
Yeah, that's his mentor.
I don't know. He didn't.
But is
have
that what
like
it appears like?
He didn't. Yeah, it appears like that from a distance because he didn't have this like rigid ethics formula until he started hanging out with Ask Yourself more, and then he started using Name the Trait nonstop. And there are all these problems with Name the Trait.
I think it's funny. I heard that his server has a Name the Trait bot.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard this as well.
That is so. I don't know what to say about
One
that.
of my alt accounts told me this. One of my alt Discord accounts told me about that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very nice.
So, yeah, there are problems to name the trait. So, yeah, maybe they are converting like an AIU fan or two. But think about how many of them are experiencing the backfire effect from their behavior, right? So they may convert. Well, let's pretend like 5 AIU fans are converted as a result of this, right? Several hundred more who are just regular people who are eating the diet that is traditional to them are completely turned off by veganism as a result of this behavior. So I don't think that it's likely effective. I can't say empirically. I don't have the numbers. I mean, we just don't know whether that's true or not. But it would seem as though it wouldn't be true based on what I understand about persuasion science.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all I know is my experience, and my experience hasn't been good, and that's going to heavily dictate a lot of how I think about these things. So,
and who you're going to be more inclined to listen to.
Exactly.
Right? I let a lot, like I accept some bad arguments sometimes because they support my bias going in. And that's totally normal.
You know what else is so fucked up about these people is they'll be like, AIU is such a pussy. He has the same attitude as Vegan Gains and Isaac. And it's like, he didn't approach you. He doesn't care to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you. And when you first approached him, you were a complete dipshit.
Yeah.
And at that point, if someone's like, you are not worth my time, that's not them being a pussy. That's them saying, you are not worth my fucking time. And I'm going to spend my time wisely, and you are not a wise place to put my time. It's just it's very simple math. I mean, I like to rabble browse sometimes, and
I think
also
that go ahead. Ask Yourself in particular looked at Devin as something to move towards. I mean, you look at his editing style, the way that he approaches people, his insults, etc. He looked at that like, oh, I want to be that for veganism, right? And what they don't understand is away from his videos, like Devin doesn't entirely, it's not like a total character that he has in his videos, but whenever you approach him just one-on-one, or if you hang out with him in a group setting, he's like one of the most chill, down-to-earth, like easygoing people.
Devin Tracy is often imitated, but he will never be duplicated. You can try, but there's only one Devin Tracy.
Yeah, but what's weird is
there's no Devin Tracy of veganism or Devin Tracy of this. There's just Devin Tracy. That's it.
Yeah, and he's like a really chill, laid back, easygoing guy if you talk to him one-on-one, whereas you talk to Ask Yourself. And this ego, this like arrogance that he has in his videos carries over into his private life, and he will like fling people out of his Discord and mute them, etc., etc. He really is that arrogant guy, right?
Do you think so? I don't think arrogant comes to mind when I think of him.
Yeah, he's very arrogant.
You think so? I don't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By that definition, I'm also arrogant because I just don't have time for people. I think that's smart. I don't think that's arrogant.
Yeah, well, okay. Let's I'm trying to figure out a better way to differentiate the way that he acts versus the way that Devin acts in their videos versus in one-to-one interaction. You know what I'm talking about Devin actually being like a pretty down-to-earth, like chill dude.
Yeah, I talk to him like every day almost.
And whenever he's like talking shit about people in his video, it's like comedy, right?
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it takes a certain kind of person to get that, though. Like people, when he's talking in his videos, they think he is addressing them personally. Now that speaks to a problem that you have. It's not Devin's problem. That's not a Devin problem. That's a you problem.
Yeah, there's this massive misunderstanding of who he actually is. That a lot of people look at Devin as if he is like Ask Yourself or something, right? Like, that feeling that you get about Ask Yourself, that's the feeling that they get about Devin, right? When in reality, they're totally just misreading the whole thing. So the point of departure here was you saying that Devin is just like Vegan Gains. It's just like Ask Yourself. And
did I say that?
well, there's this misbelief that they're all more or less doing the same thing that is widespread among vegans.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's totally different. They're totally different types of people, and I know this from interacting with both sets of them for several months. I haven't spent that much time around Richard. I've only talked to him like maybe a sentence in my life, but Ask Yourself, I can vouch for and say that he really is this like very narrow-minded, arrogant, simple person.
Yeah.
So the next takeaway from this is, how effective do you think it's going to be of them listening to us right now, given that they may or may not listen to us if I'm insulting them? You know what I mean?
I just don't think, well, I mean, I don't think there's really that much insulting happening. We're just kind of discussing observations that have been made over seeing them behave a certain way over time. If that they want to continue to take as like, oh, they're just going to label it as, oh, that's just ad homs, or, oh my God, look at these guys, they're still triggered. Anything and everything to avoid the actual things that we are trying to let them know that could really be useful for them to take into account to help their cause that they care for so much. Like, okay, to them, if it's good to adapt in every way to be better towards animals, you would think that also has to do with like caring about the cause, because the cause is what envelops the behavior, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're going to care about the animals, there's also other things that you need to do to make other people care. And that requires that you do actually check your conduct. It does require that. Because if you want the movement to grow, you have to learn to be better with people. You just have to. That's like the number one skill.
Maybe actually read some books on persuasion science.
I don't care about persuasion science. I just feel like that's a very obvious principle.
Well, if your job was to market some kind of behavior to people, don't you think it would be in your best interest to actually read about what science says on?
Well, yeah. I mean, I do read. I just haven't read about persuasion per se.
I know, but I'm recommending that if they are going to be trying to persuade people, then maybe they should actually read persuasion science books.
Oh, I don't really care to persuade people, because for me it just doesn't require much persuasion to try and be nice. But again, I'm not trying to convince people to care about the cause, I guess.
I'm talking about them in particular. Their whole goal is to persuade people. So reading books by like Robert Cialdini, who is like god of persuasion science, right? Reading books by him would probably be in their best interest. But instead, they have these like very loose ideas of how things work, and they're not, you know, they're probably shooting themselves in the foot by approaching things the way that they are, based on my understanding, at least.
Well, they are. And I mean, all the people that, I just think it's also a really bad influence to be on people, to treat people like that. Like, you should care about how you come off if you have a large reach. I think it's important. I think there's a bit of a responsibility when it's not, you know, it's obvious when it's comedy, and it's obvious when it's just the way somebody behaves.
Yeah, and I think with Vegan Gains, there's a combination of the two. Like, I think that some of his skits and whatnot are sketch comedy, and some of them are pretty funny, like especially some of his older stuff. It's just good, edgy, like ridiculous humor, right? But at the same time, like if it just ended there, the way that Devin stuff ends, like Devin talking shit about the Young Turks or whatever, that's all comedy as well. But you talk to Devin on an individual level, he's like very approachable, very easy to get along with or whatever. And it's obvious that it's, you know, him just doing good comedy, right? Good improv comedy. And whereas when we talk to Ask Yourself on an individual level, it becomes clear that he really is that arrogant, right? He really is this person who thinks that he has invented the best argument for veganism ever, right? and has this very high and mighty opinion of himself, and he's hard to approach.
Yeah, he really is. And he's just, there's just like he's so pompous, man. Like, I was just like so fucking amazed. And you know, when you're just so shocked by someone's behavior, it just kind of breaks your brain.
Yeah.
Like the way he was trying to ask me one question over and over and over again, like I didn't answer because he didn't actually like my answer.
Yeah, you're talking about vegan gains as far as, so you think it's okay to torture and kill animals. You think that's morally acceptable.
Yeah.
He said something like that over and over again for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Just re-ask you the same exact question, right?
Yeah. But that's just a way for him to appear like he's dominant in that situation in front of the audience, right? Like,
it's an expression of anger.
Yeah, that too. I'm not stupid. I can answer your question, and I did. You're the one who's stupid and can't connect to what I'm saying to you. It doesn't matter what I'm saying right now. It's just going over your head, and you need to make it appear like my answer is not acceptable because it's not the correct answer to you, and you have to make me appear wrong. It's all about perception. You can really fuck with people. Perception is reality, right? So when something looks a certain way and you don't take a look any deeper, it can appear a certain way. It does not. It just can. There's so many illusions in these kinds of communications and shit, right?
Yeah. So apparently everybody thinks this is boring and they're talking shit about me. Is that right? I'm not looking at the chat at all.
Where are you getting that from then?
It's just
glanced over.
Just somebody told me.
He's spamming.
Oh, who is it?
I don't know. I've been just banning the accounts, and then I
come
back to the conversation. It's too easy to get distracted, right? Because the chat will keep going. So
Yeah,
if I see something come over and over and over again, which someone just kept saying something stupid about raping babies or something, I'm just like, ugh, no, ban. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess, I mean, I don't really know what else to say to you aside from there are a range of benefits to veganism that are, I mean, that are real. And plus, you're not just being an asshole to a creature like that imaginary dog for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the best way of doing things. Well, let me exit out of this. I'm tired of people private messaging me. I didn't watch any of Rowan's stream with vegan gains. Did you see any of it?
No, but he did come at me on Twitter that night, and he's like, the only thing that matters is that I did better than Aimee K. And I'm like, no, you didn't.
What's up with Rowan believing in God again? And
I'm not sure. He's a big sweetheart, and I love Rowan, but you know, he's a little bit crazy in some respects, and it's understandable. You know, I do understand that life is a difficult thing. I get a little bit cunty about this, but you know, sometimes I express myself to Devin, and I'm like, that's so retarded. Like, why do people believe such dumb shit? And then, you know, he's like, you know, life is fucking hard sometimes, Aimee. And like some people, they need something to get themselves through the day. And I understand, and I do get people are governed by fear. And I'm a little less charitable and understanding sometimes, I think, because I just get so tired by stupid things that we use as crutches to deal with difficult aspects of reality. But I do understand it, and I do want to come from it come to it from a human, empathetic position. I try, but I just have no patience sometimes for it. And then, like, it's hard for me to take somebody seriously who wants to come at me who's seriously so afraid of God they need to, like, oh, the hypothetical God this, and then all of a sudden they believe in God again. And it's like, why? These things aren't even real. They're not real.
Yeah, but if you pretend that they're real, then you'll get to be a better person. And you can, and being a better person will allow you to live forever.
I guess. There you go. So he's working against his own interest of eternal life. Yeah.
Do you think that living forever is, like, are you sold on that? Because I'm not.
It depends on the conditions. If I could be like spry and youthful and have as much energy for that entire time, then sure. But I don't know. You know, it really does depend. It depends on how much my suffering can be mitigated or assuaged for the duration of forever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've still got to say no. I don't want to live forever, and my reasons for this are like the shortness of life provides its meaning.
Yeah.
For example, you can be a person that does something, right? You could do like something big or whatever. But if you have an infinite amount of time, then your meaning's going to be spliced through, you know, on all these different causes at different times. You're going to literally have it available to do anything that you wanted to. So it's like, you know, the narrowness of one's life provides its distinct meaning. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a Viktor Frankl analogy. It's something that he came up with that I thought was pretty persuasive, so I've gone with it. But, well, shit, I guess that's about it. Like, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's like, you couldn't name the trait, and I you know, if you can't name the trait, then you're just being dishonest, so.
Whatever. I'm tired of hearing Namtrat. No more Namtrat in my life, please. Name the trait! Can you name the trait?
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna get off here and go do some other shit. So I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
All right, bye.
Bye. Oh, I mean, I think I was present for most of that conversation. But it's nice that somebody agrees on the vegan side that their behavior is super gay. I posted a link in a special place for anybody who wants to join. Devin, don't die, okay? Don't die. I am so low energy today. I didn't go to bed. I passed out last night at 11, like somewhere between 10 and 11:30. And I woke up on the couch this morning at like 5:30. And then I went back to bed for another 5 hours, 4.5 hours. What did I just witness? Oh my God, Devin, come talk to me. Come make some jokes about the blondness. Tell me about where you are and what you're doing and your trip. Come talk to me. Devin Tracy, come talk to me. Someone come in here. All right, I'll just keep talking about myself. I'm fine with that. Oh, it's Alfie. Alfie?
What's up?
Hi, what you doing?
Oh shit! I still have the stream going, and I hear it twice.
What you doing?
No, I was just sitting here. I missed like half of that. I didn't realize it was going on.
That's all right.
And then you had me banned.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That was really weird.
That's like, oh my God. I was like, oh no, what if it's like how Grant and Marino are blocked to each other? And I'm never going to be able to fix this.
It's time for the JB show.
Now it's holy armpits. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cute armpit.
Look at that hole though. Oh my God. So embarrassing. This is my shirt that I never want to give up. It's my comfiest shirt. I'm going to turn off the camera now, I think. Bye.
So embarrassing that you chose to wear that.
I know.
So lazy. I didn't care.
Yeah, I woke up so late today. It's kind of sad. I slept for like 12 hours, I think.
Well, if you needed it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel very low energy today. I just don't have it today.
We need you need Devin to come in here and save this stream.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm kind of low.
Hanging out.
You know what?
No, you guys are great.
Nah, I'm kind of low energy today too. It's just one of those days.
Yeah. We had a good chat yesterday before I got into the store, and it was roboting. We were talking about how it's been our 1-year friendiversary. That was in June, right? June 5th?
In June, yeah.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
We missed it. Now we will never get that back again.
Ma'am. It's okay. I'll have to watch that at some point.
I was in the middle of watching Dan on Aaron and Mike's.
Oh my God, he riles her up so much.
Yeah.
It's so funny. She was getting so annoyed, and he was so calm. He was handling her like a champ. He's like, "Hey, here's the problem. If you don't let me answer, you're not going to know what my answer is. So why don't you just let me answer instead of screaming over me?"
It seems like they don't care what his answer is. They already have it.
No, that's what they did to me too. They tried calling me yesterday. I have a missed call from Auntie PC. Isn't that funny? Hi,
trying to get you on too. That is funny.
Yeah.
What's up,
Hey,
What's up, guys?
what you doing?
What's up, Devin?
Oh, that was. I got sidetracked on that. Wow. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how I roll.
what is happening? What that's classifies as one of the most unnecessary conversations I ever listened to. What was the point? Why are you talking about veganism? Are you not sick of veganism yet?
No, I was just well, the idea was to have a conversation with a vegan that wasn't so hostile.
Oh, but he ended it with talking about name the trait.
Yeah, I think he was joking, wasn't he?
Yeah, he might have been joking.
Oh.
Tristan is a tough joker. It's hard to.
Yeah, you can't tell with him
His jokes are
sometimes.
so dry that it's hard to tell if he's being serious.
Yeah, it's just like he's talking. Yeah, where are
I
you
picked
right
up
now?
like every 20th word. I'm in a hotel, but man, Aimee, are you okay? Are you physically okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just feel really tired today. I don't know what's up.
I wonder why. Nothing that you ingested, probably.
No, I'm doing good.
Yeah, just natural fatigue.
Devin, I slept for 12 fucking hours.
Exactly. That's one of my points. That works in my favor, not yours.
Devin's always just trying to tell me I'm high all the time, but I'm not though. What did I get up for?
Not all.
Why am I here?
Tristan is so in love with talking that he wants to eat and talk at the same time on camera.
More than me?
I mean, the guy, he was chewing. No, your chewing was for a point. His chewing was just. I was staring at. I began staring at his mouth the way I stare at Trump's mouth. Like my eyes just go there. I'm not convinced he's not a hypnotist. Like he has this tone. He's trying to lull us into a state of slumber. And then, like, I think he's read one too many of those persuasion science books. Every time he says that, he's like, "You should read a persuasion science book." And I'm like, "Oh my God. Can you imagine me going out to like Barnes and Nobles? Excuse me, I'm looking for the persuasion science section." They're like, "Who the fuck are you? Go out and do something. Get a girlfriend." Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that's not happening. You either have it or you don't. There's like certain social skills. Half of it's just chalked up to common sense.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I'll solve it all for you. You want to persuade someone? Compliment them.
Right?
Yeah.
Try it on Aimee. Anybody out there, if you want to get on Amy's good side, just compliment her. Watch.
Oh, yeah. You never compliment me, big jerk, and I like you.
Do something. I neg you.
I know.
I'm on a 5-year negging campaign.
Oh, have you summoned Tristan again, Devin?
Fucking love that shit, man. You were loving everything. That's right. You gotta talk about
He's coming in hot like vegan gains. He's coming in hot.
Hey, all you guys are fucking carnies, and none of you have named fucking right one fucking second, and it's fucking pathetic. I'm ready to go full vegan now, bitch.
Oh my God. I was trying to see you out in Denver, Tristan, but you had better things to do.
I was trying to.
Devin's trying to start drama.
David Byrne concert. That would have been the shit, right? I was gonna.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Freaking Talking Heads, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Well, he was the front man. He was the guy who came up with all the songs and stuff.
So how is your standing in the vegan community now that you're still associating with the carnies?
I have like some really powerful vegans in my corner, like Unnatural Vegan. But the fucking ride or die, like let's go protest some shit, vegans fucking hate me.
That wouldn't by chance be a little gun that you're pointing to your head, is it?
I'm just trying to figure out things, man. Ever since you fucking dumped me in Denver, it's been a rough road.
I came there specifically to see you. Specifically.
But you didn't, so I don't know if I can make
no,
it.
I get to see you now. You have a haircut. When did that happen?
It happened because of you, Devin. It was going to be our night together.
You're trying to look sharp?
I had everything planned out, and you didn't make it.
He was going to propose to you at that concert.
I have the ring in my pocket right now. This gun was going to be for Kelly so that you could be in my life, but now it's going to be for myself.
I can't believe I still have to make another vegan video. I can't believe this topic just will not die. We need a silver bullet for it.
Well, I don't know. What do you think, man? Like, you live a mostly vegan life. I mean, your girlfriend's a vegan, etc. So, do you have any?
It's not good enough. It's lip service. It's tokenism. Yeah, they got to win hearts and minds of one person at a time, and if they can't win you over, then they're willing to just destroy the relationship and act as cunty as humanly possible. Which, they believe that strategy is going to work. So maybe in 20 years they'll look back and be like, maybe I completely fucked up my entire youth. What was I doing? Happens.
People in this vegan Discord I'm in just sit around and talk about veganism and shit like that. They're all men, or a lot of them are men in their early 20s. And I tell them that they need to be doing drugs at rock and roll shows and banging chicks, right? That's what we're supposed to do.
I'm proud of you, Tristan, right now.
They should take a lesson from the atheists. You don't see us talking and high-fiving over atheism or being like complete assholes to people. I mean, we just accept. You got to accept certain things. I mean,
It's kind of strange to me, Tristan, that you said that those Discords are mostly men when the vegan community is mostly women, right?
I know, yeah. It's like incel vegan men who hang out, under this moniker of veganism, and are vegan gains fans. They're vegan gains and Ask Yourself fans, and it's what you're seeing is incelery, right? Under the guise of veganism. So that stupid skank Aimee got her shit kicked in by a real fucking man, vegan gains, and it was fucking pathetic.
Incelery, I like that term. It's a kind of
that's a good one.
Crossover term because it's vegan and it's virginal.
Yeah, totally vegan.
Yeah. That's great.
Aimee, are you still reading comments, or do you care?
No, I'm over it.
You posted. Oh my gosh, you need a nap bad.
Oh my god.
Well, what it is, it's their keto diet, right?
Yeah.
It's sucking the life out of her.
I know. I don't know.
I know. Aimee, you posted a picture of who's working at Google, and it was a very alarming picture, and I might do a video about it.
Yeah, isn't that alarming? I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was like,
probably true,
oh.
Right? It's like trans people and like blue hair feminists and.
Well, I think a couple of the profiles say something at Google. I work as a blah 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 at Google.
So what is it? You have the money men in Silicon Valley, then you have the programmers who are kind of spurgy and celery types, and then they think we got to balance this out. So let's bring on some super millennial feminists and woke trans people. Is that the idea?
Oh, it's so creepy, isn't it? I don't
one
like it.
One had like a My Little Pony icon as their picture, like they're showing all their pictures of who they are, and one's a brony.
And I bet they're all proud of it too. The people that do the hiring.
Totally, yeah.
They're thinking, we just hired a black lesbian disabled woman. It's just like, oh, congrats.
It kind of shows you how powerful the company is if they're hiring people just based on their demographics and they're not sinking. You know what I mean?
Whatever happened to that dude who put out the report? The guy that worked for Google.
Oh, Damore?
Nobody cares about him anymore.
What's he doing now?
He's selling books about how to kill SJWs.
I heard him and Brock Turner are doing a buddy comedy together, and I would go and see it. I would definitely be in line for that.
Yeah, I got to go to this concert, but I just wanted to. I saw Devin on here. I just wanted to give him the truth about what really happened the other night. Whenever we were supposed to hang out, I saw that Mr. Medicare was streaming, and I was like, I could hang out with Atheism's Unstoppable, or I could watch this Medicare stream. And the choice was clear. I mean, sorry about that, man.
Was that before or after he was deleted from YouTube?
It was after. It was the whodunit. It was the shit, man. Sorry about that, but maybe we'll catch up again sometime.
Keep making those life choices, and I'm sure people will try to mimic you and end up like you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta get out of here. I've actually got shit to do. I just wanted to say.
Bye.
All right.
Later, Tristan.
Does anybody have a flush sound effect? Hold on. Toilet bowl flush sound effect. Aimee?
Yeah?
What is the motivation? Are you trying to entertain your hate watchers?
Nah. I just want to talk. You know me.
It happens sometimes. We have low energy streams sometimes.
I talk all the time, though. I do talk a lot. I've been
Yeah.
talking quite a bit lately.
The thing is, Aimee, hold up, yeah, right. Devon has been watching us three stream for at least a year now, and he still asks us at the end of the stream, and what was the point of that? And 99% of the time, it's just for us to chat.
It's
You'd think you
literally
would have
a
got
Google
that by
Hangout.
Yeah, literally.
I think it's just a vehicle to combine and unite stoners from various parts of the globe. I mean,
You know
that's
what? You might have to be onto something with that, Devin.
That's true.
that's the AIU community essentially.
Smoking
Hey,
weed does bring people together, man. I've met people just from walking down the street and them asking me if I want to hit of like the weed. I'll be like, oh, all right here, and then actually become a person.
Yeah, let's come up with something to talk about while we smoke weed and just be stoned together. Sure, we're intellectuals.
Oh my god, Devin just can't let me be tired right now.
Oh my god, take a drug test. I don't believe you.
Take a drug test. You're such a brat.
Cotton swab.
God. One of these days, Devin, I'm gonna get you stoned and we're gonna take a nap together.
Okay. Come down to New Orleans. I'm ready for you.
New Orleans.
Yeah, get on a plane. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Did you save the chat log on this? Is it going to save and play back?
Yeah, I believe so. I saved them on all of them.
Because I was going off on Tristan, and I want that preserved for all of time.
Okay, I want to see it. I want to see it. There's probably some funny stuff in there. There usually is. I saw something about blonde noise. Blonde noise. Devin.
Aimee was reaching levels of disinterest. Like, she couldn't even pretend like she knew what he was talking about. She was just like, dude, I lost interest like 3 minutes ago.
There was one where she was like, is that correct? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I lost you like 30
for the last 30 seconds or something.
Listening to Tristan say, so that's about it. I've pretty much said it all. That reminds me of Where the Sidewalk Ends. You ever read that book? It's like an old children's book. Like, he came to the end of his speaking vocabulary. He had said everything. Yeah. How long does this go on for? An hour?
I don't know. Felt like longer.
I'm lost in time right now. I feel like I'm lost in space.
Yeah.
You might be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm interdimensional right now.
Yeah. Oh. Intergalactic planetary.
Yeah. So what's your next antagonistic?
I think tomorrow I'm talking to the Jamie show tonight. Well, later tonight. Talking to Hollow Whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Devin, Dan and I want to start a YouTuber death pool. You gonna join us?
For money? Like who you think is gonna die first? Natural cause or
Doesn't matter.
Self-inflicted.
Doesn't matter. Whoever's gonna die.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I could just pick the oldest YouTuber.
I guess. Okay, fine. I guess you do have to split it up then. It has to be interesting.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Who's gonna die as a YouTuber?
Amazing Atheist.
Oh yeah. Well, he's been in and out of the hospital.
No,
yeah, smokers.
Boogie 2298.
Oh really?
Yeah, especially if he's reversing his stomach thing.
Oh, he's reversing it? Why?
He doesn't like not being as fat. I don't know.
Oh.
He talked about it. He's a big softie. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. I actually don't even know how he's so popular. But it's sort of the internet is in many ways just a landscape of betas. There's betas everywhere. They're just in the woodwork. because it's the safe haven for the beta. So they're not out there doing anything, speaking in public, leading, playing sports, etc., etc. So they jump online and they're like, "Oh, but in this world, I will dominate." And so they look at a guy like who's a fat fuck or a nerd or a geek or a gamer, and they think, "Okay, this is my guy. This is like a kingpin. He represents me, and if we all combine forces, we can, artificially prop him up and throw shekels at him and make him seem important and valid. Like that life is now a valid life, but it isn't. It's a trick they play on themselves. But like ask Jay. Jay's a newfound gamer. He's been self-medicating with gaming. How's that going?
What? No, I've been playing games since I was a kid. Thank you very much.
Oh God, that's his defense. I've always been self-medicating gaming. So are you on a quest to beat a certain monster or get to a level, or what are we doing here with that game?
You gotta save the princess.
I tried to teach Phil how to play chess, but he's like, Devin, it's probably very complicated. Is that right? like, yeah, it takes a little time.
Devin, would you like some apple juice? I like that bit, the beginning of your video, where you're like, Phil, are you okay? And he's just like not even moving. It's nice out where he lives.
Come down. Oh, it's such a kick-ass house. He'd just come down in his robe. He'd robe up in the morning and in the evening, and I was jealous of it.
Yeah.
Well, you got to do it, Devin. I'm sat here.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
Just robe in it. Yeah.
I'm robing it right now.
I think it's the equivalent of like piping it. Robe and pipe is a little too much nowadays, but
yeah, but the robe, yeah.
Because it's almost like it's not a trench coat, it's not a cape, but it is a very
it's so comfy.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
so comfy.
A duster.
It's like you're wearing it's a towel. It's a soft towel.
Yes. It's a towel with sleeves.
A towel with
easy
sleeves.
access. And also you got that belt where you can sort of tie it off like you're a samurai or something. Almost a martial arts quality to it.
Yeah.
True.
And you can't wear shoes with it. You could do slippers. It almost necessitates slippers, doesn't it? What's the proper footwear?
I mean, barefoot slippers. Yeah.
Nah,
sure.
I got slippers on. Slippers is the way.
Shit. Yeah, that's like loungewear. If you're gonna sit at home. Shit.
That's a line actually from Black Klansman. They had the black guy from The Wire, who's famous for that line. He always says "shit," and they say it. And it's now transcends TV show. It's just wherever this guy is, he says "shit."
Yeah,
like, Samuel Jackson with motherfucker.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
You know, like I love the way they talk. Blacks, they're great.
Oh my
just
God.
the way of talking.
What? Generalize.
No, but they do, don't they? They bring such a spicy and interesting way.
Spicy.
Talking about Obama?
Spicy. Wow. I like Obama. I love Obama. He's not your regular black, though, Devin. Let's be real.
Whoa.
Somebody just sent me a clip.
Yeah, we need to clip mine.
She's so racist. It's crazy.
When Dion Always Sunny impersonates Obama, she's like, "I'm going to Congress, y'all."
She's so bad, D.
Yeah, she's so bad.
Devin, you got a clip of what?
There's a guy. Somebody sent me. It's an ad, a political ad for a guy named Green, Kyle Green, and he's like, "I want to be your candidate." I don't know if it's real. I got to research it. But he's like, some local race, and he's like, "I'm going to be your candidate, and I want to be your nigger."
Whoa.
And he looks like he drops a hard R. It's like, I don't know what he's doing with that. It's got to be a joke. I'm thinking here, I'll post it. Where would I post it? Oh, yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know what region it is.
Kyle Green, let's see.
District 18A, as if we're supposed to know what that is. But yeah, if you go in at like 22 seconds.
Oh, I just heard it. Oh my God.
Do you think that's real?
That's crazy. That can't be real. I don't know.
I'm calling bullshit, but still, why?
Oh,
even
it's
fake
Minnesota.
that?
Minnesota House candidate Kyle Green.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's
Minnesota.
House
Billy's
candidate?
Twitter?
Does that mean he wants to be a house N-word?
Yeah.
Oh,
House
wait, Aimee's starting up one of the gates
Boring
again.
gate.
Yeah, it's time for Boring Gate. What's Billy's Twitter, guys?
Billy Bong Redux or something.
I
send it
found
to
it.
him on. I was gonna say send it to him on Discord. Yeah, send it
I'm
to him.
DMing him right now on Twitter.
He doesn't check
Aimee
his
just
Twitter. You got to do it on Discord.
churns
I
it.
gotta do it on Discord too.
Trust me, y'all.
Motherfucker.
Amy's just taking on all comers. See, Amy's gotten all used to the negativity and the disgusting, grotesque nature of the human spirit, and so now she's like a phoenix. She's risen from the other side of all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, she reminds me of Jodie Foster when she left her first interview with Hannibal Lecter, and then Miggs in the cell next to her just like was jerking off and threw his cum on her face.
Yeah.
Like it didn't stop Jodie Foster. She got out, wiped it off, and continued with her career. But she was hardened for it. You know, she probably thanks Miggs for that.
I don't know. These people
So
are
this-
assholes, and you really can't let it get to you. But I think it's good exercise. You have to
I
get
told you.
practice. Yeah,
I
you're
warned
right.
you. I knew it was coming. And
Yeah.
it's funny. You're warning me about going on a kill stream and stuff like that.
I
And
know.
meanwhile,
I just didn't want them to treat you like shit. I was like,
I
oh my
know,
god.
But then you go into the lion's den of the biggest, Nimrod, fucking Down syndrome.
Dude, that idiot
forehead
came at me.
monster.
I didn't even say anything to him. He's like, you want to debate me? You called me a coward. I was like, what? I did? I thought I was talking about Isaac, but okay.
Like when he goes, "Be quiet, be quiet."
Be quiet.
Oh my God. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. It was so fucking gross, Devin. Oh my God.
If you look through his comments on his video, like every fifth comment, there'll be a person who's like, I'm a vegan and I've been watching your stuff for a long time, but why did you upload this? You come off like a total asshole, a child throwing a tantrum. What are you doing?
Hey, Billy Bong. What's up, Billy Bong?
What's up, everyone? What?
Billy, you understand pop behavior and the signs of a stone. Is Amy stoned right now or what?
She seemed it at the beginning of the stream.
I'm just really tired, man.
Well, she is now. Contact high from Billy Bong would put her over the edge for sure.
Here to dispel the myth of the contact high. I don't believe that exists.
No, I've gotten contact high before.
Really? Because that's like something I would wish for, and I would never smoke. I just hang out with stoners and
I think you gotta have a lower tolerance to it though for that. Like if you smoke all the time, you're not gonna get it as bad as if you were somebody who hasn't smoked.
I've never
Hey, Billy,
encountered it. Yeah.
I just did a video featuring Phil Anselmo, and I started it with Disturbed music. Is that an FU to Phil?
I was thinking, oh man, I was thinking about it as soon as I heard the guy singing Disturbed lyrics. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, but these guys are so tribalistic and like
we're
any band.
elitists, man. We're metalheads are
I mean,
elitists.
If I did a Metallica song, he'd be just as offended.
Maybe,
Megadeth, he would be upset about all of it.
Slayer, he'd be cool with.
Yeah,
He'd be
or
cool
Slayer.
with Slayer. But well, the thing is, Phil's crazy because when Metallica changed their style and everyone didn't like them as much anymore, but nobody said anything, Phil would be on stage talking shit about them.
Yeah, I remember.
I see you wearing a Metallica shirt over there, fucking pussy.
But it's funny. You can name almost any band, and he has a story about them.
Oh yeah, it's
throw out a
amazing.
band to him. Just be like, hey, what do you think of Poison? Oh, those guys, man. I saw them caught up with those dudes. It's just like,
good fucking
got
dudes.
knowledge.
They're good fucking dudes. Man.
Their music sucks, but they're good dudes.
I was never that into them, but they're good dudes.
Like,
that was just the first time I talked to him on the phone and shit. We talked for like an hour and a half about music, about everything, and he had stories about everything. It was great.
I like how Devin was talking to us last night about how they were watching football or something, and he was talking about names.
Oh God.
People's names and shit,
names.
how they sound. This is a great conversation.
What happened?
I sent him. He's fascinated by the names of football players and just any name that sounds weird. And so he's just like,
should have told him Stephon Diggs. He would have kicked you out of his fucking house.
Oh, really? That's a bad one?
Well,
That's
because last year,
the
guy who missed the fuck, he's the one who caught the ball where the guy missed the tackle.
I mean, Phil Anselmo is so much of a Saints fan. Really, the story of his life is Saints fan gains fame doing something other than being a Saints fan. Like that's. I wrote him a thank you letter, him and his wife, and I said, "Dear Netrell and Shaquanda," because these are some of the names that we're hearing.
She's his wife now, or
right?
Is that so?
I said
when I met him, she was just his girlfriend.
I think it's interchangeable. I mean, they've been together like 16 years. So
okay.
I told him, I'm like, that's like almost 3 times common law marriage. So I'm pretty sure you're partners now.
In this country,
the government says after 6 years that you're an item.
6 years, but how do you prove that 6 years even exists?
That's when you first penetrate. The clock starts at first penetration.
But did you like sign a contract when you did that? Like, where's so
no,
weird.
They do it on when you moved in, basically.
Yeah, residence.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For example,
look at Jay. That's why Jay bailed out early with his last one, because he didn't want to hit that 6-year plateau.
What's funny? Here's a good Phil story about the Saints. He tells me, he's like, William, we could talk about anything on your hangout. Just don't talk about the Saints, because they were like 0-2, and he was fucking annoyed.
Yeah. He's in a bad place.
About 2 hours into the hangout, I let Grant in. First thing he asked him, what do you think about the Saints? And I'm like, oh no.
My God.
I was like, dude, you.
Oh no.
Because we were watching the preseason game, the 3rd preseason game, and him and his friend, they were watching it. They knew every player. They knew the dudes that are going to get cut. They're trying to chop it down to a 53-man roster, and they're like, not sure about this backup outside linebacker. Should we keep him or not? Yeah.
And that's deep into it when you get to that point. Like writing down stats for each player while you watch.
He was big on Kamara last year, the rookie guy who did sick. So he was happy.
They looked like
they looked like they were going to do it, but they didn't. So
they got a good team this year. They got all the ingredients. They could be back.
It's basically the same team, I guess. Basically.
Yeah. And they got this expression down here with the who dat. You guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
Who dat?
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes from, but that's what they say. The
New phone, who dis?
Right. I guess it's like in reference to the opponent. So anytime you reference the opponent, who dat? Or it just becomes a slogan. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it's basically become.
But it's funny that's Ebonics.
It was in the Cincinnati, I think, that Houday. That's another one.
Right.
Houday.
They sound like Saddam Hussein's children's names.
Hudis Muhammad.
Hassan Hussein.
Hudis Hussein.
I'm telling you, it's addictive to see a dude love a thing. It really makes you want to just jump on board. Like, I'll root for the Saints this year. Why the fuck not? You know?
Yeah.
That's
cute.
His compound looks way more open than I've thought about it in my mind. I think in my mind it's gonna be like, remember, like from not Billy Madison, the other Water Boy, where he lives in that like dense foresty fucking thing.
Oh,
it's gonna be like that. It is.
It's a rainforest. Oh, at parts, yeah. It's thick and it's private. There's nobody around.
It's so awesome.
I'm like, Phil, do you have security? Do you got like alarm or a exterior fence or something? He's like, no, but I do own a gun. And put it this way, even if you called the cops, it would take them a good clean 40 minutes to get out here. So we're basically on.
I like your
He's got a
Phil
couple of dogs though, right?
Yeah, he's got
dogs. He got 3 dogs. The one dog wouldn't do much of anything. She's a bit old and sort of like a hot dog. The other 2 might cause. Well, one of them's named Kronk, so that dog's in it to win it. You know. Yeah, that's very
Kronk.
Nasty.
Wasn't that from The Emperor's New Groove? Kronk.
Exactly.
That was a good movie.
Amy's making stoner stream of conscious sort of connections.
No, I've seen that movie.
Let me chime in here. This reminds me of Disney movies, animated and stuff.
Oh my god, I know some stuff.
Devin, so since you've met him, like, isn't he just like the coolest fucking, like, he's mad chill, this guy, like he's the nicest fucking person in a way, and like he gets such a bad rap because he talks shit. So like,
he's a real sweetheart down inside, and he's what you see is what you get. Like, he's exactly as he was on my Skype calls with him, in email form, over the phone. It's the same guy. But the fact that he invited me to his house, his lair with his girl and his dogs and his bed, all the, well, I mean, not his bed, but you get what I'm saying. That says a lot. I mean, I don't know. That's a.
Well, the thing, like,
people like the privacy and shit.
Yeah, well, I seen it, like, him interact with people. Like, apparently he hadn't seen some of these people in years that came to that show I went to and met him at, and like he saw someone from across the room and he's like, "Oh shit, whatever, come over here. I haven't seen you in years." Like, and he's like hugging them, smiling, and he's like just fucking happy person. Bro. So it's like,
yeah, he really is, and he does treat everybody the exact same. And I asked him about it. He's like, "That's my policy. That's how I do it." I bring him on the Kumite, and I'm like, "Hey, so we got this YouTuber, two guys. These people are nobody to him. I mean, he could give a shit, but he treats them with as much respect as he would the president, which, well, probably shouldn't treat that.
I find that hysterical that he watches YouTube. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah. I think he got into it when he was injured and stuff. Yeah.
It's such a random turn of events, like,
Yeah, because he couldn't get out of bed for a while with the back, so he had to just fill time, and I guess he'd seen all of his horror films. And he turned me on some good movies, some good TV shows. I got a lot of catch up to do. He's got a list. He'd be like, it became a joke because every time he gave a reference, he'd be like, "Devin, have you ever seen a movie called the Green Elfish Emperor?" And I'm like, "No."
Of course not.
Yeah, but before he said the movie, I knew there was no chance I'd seen the movie. But because he's like referencing shit from like, it came out in the early 50s, and the cinematography was just intense.
Devin, have you ever seen?
He's got passion for movies, for music, for sex, for sports. It transcends. He's a passionate guy, an intense guy.
Yeah.
It's a good trait to have. Name the trait.
It's so endearing.
That's the one.
Yeah. I mean,
the guy bought a T-shirt from my fucking, what's it called, dude? Like, look from my what is it? The Teespring. Like, that's crazy. What the fuck?
We burned it in effigy out on the estate. That was one of the first things we did. He's way cool. He's going on tour. I don't know if he's coming up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I was saying,
I don't know.
Billy,
I was supposed to do a hangout with him. What's that?
I was saying me, you, and Grant should go to a show if he does a tour up here.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, you guys already had your first date having ice cream together.
Nah, cheers, Spumoni.
Next time he's got to take me out to like a nice dinner and a movie.
Alpha's like trying to drop subtle hints, like you want Billy to taste his ice cream. Like, have you ever had this kind of chocolate? It's really good.
I did buy Alf's first round of pizza, so I guess it was a date.
Yeah, that's totally a date. A guy buying another guy pizza?
A bro date.
He didn't invite me in for coffee, though. I was upset.
Nope.
A Cuban and a Mexican meeting up in New York. America's fucked. We're fucked. It's over. The ethno state is dead. Yeah. Absolutely terrible.
This is what you did with this country after you won your independence. Jesus, America.
Well, look at yours. You're not doing any better.
I mean, we let in all these Alf and Billy types, and then like 100 years later, we're like, now let's build a wall? No, too late. Way too late. Yeah, we need retroactive walls. But Billy has disowned his Cuban heritage. He's completely assimilated. He doesn't even speak Spanish. Who speaks better Spanish, him or Kelly?
I always thought Billy was just white.
I know Spanish, but I didn't learn it from my father. He never fucking spoke it to me.
Billy's all, Como te llamas?
You could ask Al if he's heard some.
Yeah, I've heard him speak a little Spanish. He's not great at it.
Claro.
But knows some.
Vamos. Oh, Alf's pulling Spanish rank on him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know Spanish.
What?
It's the first thing you ever heard.
Peruvians speak pidgin Spanish. It's not even the true form.
Pidgin Spanish. A lot of Spanish comes from us, man. Incan.
It's guinea pig Spanish.
Words entered the Spanish.
Guinea pig Spanish.
Guinea pig Spanish. That'd be funny.
Alf, do you think you would have been an Incan warrior?
Nah, I probably would have
If
been
born?
work in the fields or something. I probably would have gotten sacrificed.
You'd be the comic book dork equivalent of the Incan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You're like, I collect shells. I just wander around the beach collecting shells.
Look at this shell. This is amazing. I found this back in 62.
They're like, Alf, let's go out and fight. The Mayans are invading. We must fight. And you're like, no, shell collection is a must.
Yeah, no, I got to take my shell out of here before they find it.
You probably have like hidden
collecting
tomb
like
treasures that are missing that they claimed were destroyed by the Spanish. Hidden in your house somewhere.
Yeah, well, like when my mom was growing up, it was like not an uncommon thing to like dig in your backyard and find like ancient Incan like pottery and shit like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just all over.
Arrowheads.
Yeah, we used to have them in my apartment when I was a kid growing up.
You could do that here. There's fucking places in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's fucking supposed to be
Oh shit! Look
How's
who's
it done?
making an appearance.
Aimee,
Yeah.
why did you have so much makeup on? The eye makeup, the Egyptian eye. What was happening?
Oh my god,
You
it's from
smoked it
yesterday. I fell asleep like a trash bag on the couch and didn't wash my face, so
You went on a hot date? What happened?
no, I went to work, motherfucker.
So you're trying to impress the cute guy at work?
Oh my god, he's so cute.
Yeah.
He's getting cuter by the
So
day.
cute. He has this amazing sexual hair. Like I just want to pull it. It's so thick and he styles it. Oh, it's so sexy.
Do you drop hints or are you just like, I'm
No.
waiting for you and your girlfriend
No,
to
I'm
stop
over
you?
it. He has a girlfriend. I'm pretty sure he's younger too. But I have a lot of how thoughts in the day when I'm there.
You're getting a lot of sexual attention with all the haters. And one of the main themes was not only you're wrong on veganism, but you're also hot. That was the main thing to come out of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of very intense comments that are like,
Ooh, dirty.
someone talking about my plump lips and how they want to see them wrapped around their cock. I'm like, geez.
Right.
Well then.
Do you actually
Okay, well.
It's all about the
lips
adjectives.
puffed out?
Pardon?
When you're sucking a cock, do you tighten up your lips like your Fire Marshal Bill? Like, do they go away? Or
Yeah,
are they
no,
fully-
no, they're definitely part of the experience.
They're out. Okay.
Mhm.
Can you show that on like a banana sometime? Do
After
Just-
the
just
video
eat a
where I
banana.
just eat steak with the camera, yeah, I'll do one of those too.
What's the difference?
I'll do
It's
a head
vegan.
tutorial. You remember that black chick who did that? You made
Yeah.
a video about it. You remember?
Yeah,
I made a video. What was it?
Yeah,
I
it was.
used
I
a
think it
clip of it, but I don't. Yeah, yeah, it did. It was a whole
was
video.
a
on it.
live stream, wasn't it? It wasn't part of a live stream. It was like on a
What'd she do?
pink glass dildo. She was,
Oh,
showing,
wow.
Black
she
lady
was showing you how to
video,
suck
like,
the dick.
showing you how to
Devin.
suck a dick. Yeah.
That's how she talked
Wow.
too. This is
Isn't
how
it-
you suck the dick.
Dude, that was like on an NWA album. Like,
Oh my god.
like a fucking.
Yeah.
Devin
how to-
was giving commentary though. It was so funny. That was a
Oh.
funny video, man. Oh, I'm so mad that channel's gone.
Did you hear any of I Hypocrite yelling at Tonka?
No, I was at work.
No, I got pissed off.
Oh, he got loud.
5-10 minutes in because I Hypocrite just sounded more like a bitching child.
No,
Yeah.
he has a
It's
little bit.
mess. I could end that whole debate in a minute, but it's just a mess for no reason. It's like the least important drama ever.
It's true. So what
Like,
happened to Crouch?
boring Gate was more important than that. Like,
Yeah.
Boring gay, Billy.
I want to know about
Um,
Colorado Gate though. What's going on with that?
Yeah.
No,
lot of
not
greats.
here. Come on, guys.
No?
Mm-mm. Ask him later.
All right.
But
You
yeah.
tired of the drama?
No, I just don't want any more to start up because of it.
God.
Dude, the blocks have gone around. The shit's happened. It just needs to be dropped for a bit. At the same time, people need to chill the fuck out, guys. Come on. Let's just all relax. It's all good.
Is it though?
Coming back to
I
boring
think
again,
so.
Aimee, why did you call Billy boring? Oh,
How long ago was that now?
Boring Game Part 2.
6 months?
It lives in my mind at all times.
The
It's on
best
forefront.
moment of that whole thing was as soon as Billy started exploding, Devin dropped this meme of me rolling my eyes on the map on the Canadian side and a nuke going off in New York. It was fucking amazing.
fucking meme.
Oh, that
What,
was a
what about
good.
the meme of Amy goes, Billy, you're boring. He goes, fuck you, Amy. And she goes,
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
I thought
And
that
I'm
was
wearing a
spot on.
godless hoodie too. And I'm wearing a godless hoodie too.
I thought that
It was-
meme perfectly showed what happened.
That meme was completely 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
It was.
the conversation shifted from whether or not he was boring to why would he even be upset that she called him boring, because it's so true. It's like, what? It's stunning.
Whatever. Oh, that was a good little spat, though, Billy. It
Oh,
was funny. No, looking back, it was pretty funny.
man. Billy should have ripped you, done videos like anti-Amy videos out of this story.
Devin would have lived for. You were living for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, I tried
I was
to
just
encourage
telling
the Billy
Al
verse.
yesterday about the Joe Live Life feud. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was so big on Live Life versus Billy. I was like, I came out definitively Team Billy, and Joe didn't like that. Yeah, that was what was that about even?
Was it the 10,000 subs
okay,
thing?
I did a video about how like
Yeah.
some of these right wingers are actually being
Oh,
retarded at the fucking about and Bearing put it
Yeah.
on his channel and Joe got mad.
Okay.
So
So he took his orders from. Oh, right. He put it on the channel to promote it.
yeah.
Right.
And-
Well, you pulled a Trump. You were like, there are good people and bad people on both sides, and he was like, what? How can you say that?
I was like, I didn't even do that. I just said some of these people are fucking assholes. Look at this dude in an InfoWars shirt with a fucking face mask on, like he's a terrorist and shit, and
Dude.
holding the Bible. I'm like, you think this is my dude right here?
We all know none of this would have happened if Devin just released the full interview.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that
I
was,
buried
that was
that.
part 2 to that drum. It was like connected to that one.
Yeah, it was
stemmed from
close. That was the first chink in the armor. Was Billy was like, you won that. You won that drama.
Oh no, Jersey Rhino has read my messages where I'm like, oh my god, have you seen this, Joe? And I send him the picture of Devin and Phil where Devin's like in the kayak or whatever.
Well, because I put in that video that I ripped him. Like, I ripped him, like, personally, too. I was like, dude, this dude is one of those types of people that's like this and this and this. And that's what...
We gotta have a picture of Joe on Moby, but Moby Dick, the whale, and just have Joe riding it.
We want to put Joe in that picture, yeah, like, on the kayak. We'll put him in a boat.
Oh my God, Joe had a $500 Fortnite tournament and he lost within 5 minutes. He was his own thing. And he turned into commentator. Oh,
You think it was gonna be easy pickings or something? He's just like, yeah.
I mean, he's trying. You know, he's
There's gonna be
the
some good people.
ratio of him trying to him failing in terms of being a Twitcher is really shocking. He's not just doing it as a hobby. He's like full on. Like, this could be me. This could be my thing.
Yeah, it's not just for streaming.
world-
He does it on his own time.
No, this is not a little hobby. This is a career choice that isn't working. And that's, I mean, it's beautiful to watch, but not for the right reasons.
Well, you better watch out.
Aimee,
'Cause he knocked out someone who was 6'3" once with one punch, bro.
Oh, dude, Joey Nuts.
He's gonna call him
Joey
up.
Nuts.
You remember he called him up?
Oh my God. One of my favorite moments on the internet ever was him calling his friend, putting him on speaker, saying, hey, can I punch? Can I fight? You tell them. I mean,
Oh my god, that was so sad.
some Guido'd out Jersey. No offense, Alf.
Not Guido'd out. I'm not gonna take offense.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
fantastic. That was such fun shit.
Yeah.
But that's just how petty
like-
Joe is. Like I've gotten into it with him like right before that on like a stream Drew was having or something.
Right.
It was like me, him, and like Drew and Grant and Dark Matter or some shit. It was like the first time I remember speaking to that guy, and like I fucking start yelling at Joe on the stream.
Oh my god.
Because
he couldn't take a joke. Like you would, it's so easy to tempt him into getting mad. I used to be like, Joe, you are really not good on the turntables. You have good musical selection, but like technically on the turntables, you're clearly not good. And he would not register that as an obvious provocation, obvious joke, and instead he'd launch into on the turntables, and it's just like, thank you. It's like a wind-up doll.
So ridiculous.
It is. It's way too easy, isn't it? That's why it's funny, though.
Aimee, when you grabbed your tits and said you're never going to get these, there's like 100 different ways he could have played that better than, oh, please, Aimee, I've had way better tits than that.
Oh, his girlfriend. My girlfriend now has even bigger tits. Okay, and she's 28. I was like, what?
I love the fact that he went to his past. So he sees a girl in the present moment with big, massive, succulent tits, and he's like, I don't have those in my life right now, but I've got in the past tits like that. That's just the essence of. He's like Al Bundy, talking about his high school football career. It's just like the guy's claiming that he's getting blowjobs behind the DJ booth. That never happened, and if it did, how gross! I mean, who's that woman? Let's interview her. What was that like? Oh,
let's interview her.
I could fill 3 hours of content like a Joe Rogan sized.
What were you thinking that night? Was it the ecstasy?
What are your recollections? How do you get in that position in your life where you're just like, oh, Joe, live life?
Moby was online too.
Oh my god, that guy.
Moby.
Oh, am I allowed to say I
Is
met
that
Moby
serious?
in
Like he really
1999?
thought he really claims Moby came up to him to praise him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Joe gets married one day, he calls Lawrence Krauss and he's like, I want you to be my best man. I guess you were anticipating this call, weren't you, Lawrence? Yep, well, it finally happened. I'm locking it down, put a ring on it, all that. Anyway, it's out in Hawaii. Just wanted to get scheduling down with you.
It's going to be at the Reason rally.
Oh no.
Lawrence would just hang up, just click.
Because he knows Lawrence will be there. So he's like, let's do it at the Reason rally, babe.
Are they doing another Reason rally?
I don't know.
They're doing MythCon. Vadim is there.
Like
oh my god,
now or
Vadim
September?
Vadim is such a cunt. What was he just yipping about? Something stupid. Oh yeah.
To comment on Vegan Gains' video that you read to me.
Chrisiosity clip.
He's commenting on the white genocide in South Africa, trying to downplay it, being a typical bitch, going that there isn't anything happening to white farmers down there. What? There's no racism against whites. This guy is just a pristine case of just vaginal behavior.
He'll send you pics from when he used to hook up with girls in clubs.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That was horrible.
I think he just redid his apartment, his grandmother's hovel. He like painted the walls and took down all those pictures.
That's awful.
The comments got to him after all this time.
Yeah, exactly.
The barrage of comments from everyone on the internet.
Remember when the storm was coming? It was going to hit. Where is he even? Florida, New York?
I think he's in Florida.
And he was worried. And he put out a video, a preemptive video. He's like, "There's a Category 4 storm coming. If you ever want to become a patron, now's the time. I don't know how to do this."
No way! If you ever want to become a patron, now's the time.
He is Mother Nature. Yeah. It was amazing.
That's the appeal to nature fallacy. Gross.
Yeah.
He's such a insidious cunt. He does these completely cringy, non-comedy fucking cat videos, right?
Yeah.
And then but he'll peek out from behind the mask of his stupid brand, and he'll try to comment on just as Vadim. And it's just
hella gay.
Why do you think anybody cares what you have to say or that you have any value to insert into any conversation?
I think young kids watch him, right?
Him?
No.
God, he sucks. He cannot talk.
Oh no, ugh, he's gross. His voice is so gross.
I think people appreciate the cat more than him.
Yeah.
You know.
And I can't stand that fucking cat either. So.
Mm.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Yeah,
people doing
I showed
characters.
I showed my ex his channel, and I was just showing her random channels, and I was like, oh, well, at least this one's got a cat. 30 seconds and went, I love the cat, but everything else is fucking annoying. Please turn it off.
Put it on
What a
mute and
weird
shut it down.
gimmick. Let me use my cat and make it like give it this really obnoxious, gross voice.
I got to hear Phil Anselmo say Vadim Newquist. He would just
Yes.
linger on that word.
Yeah,
It's in this
Vadim.
chat. His name is Vadim Newquist.
Yeah.
So cute.
He just did an interview. Actually, I'm about to watch it. He did a conversation with Sam Spurg and Cult of Dusty.
And that
Who's
bitch,
total
Chrisiosity.
progressive bitch. Oh, who's that?
Chrisiosity.
Who is she?
Part of that crew with
Yeah, all those.
those
Who's the other?
SJW people, Christy Winter.
Christy Winter.
What? Oh my
Yeah.
god! Fucking hell! It's just like a regressive powwow, and they're just gonna. I mean, I kind of want to hate watch it.
Devin, there's a clip where she's talking about how we're talking about inclusivity and intersectionality, but we don't have any black atheists on the panel there, and that's a bad thing. And I'm like, bitch, you've never even. Did you ever grow up with one black person in your fucking life? You don't know shit about black people, bitch.
Billy, as a black atheist, let me say this.
There's not enough black people here, and that's your fault. Fuck you.
Oh my god. I've done videos on black atheists, the rise of black atheism.
I did one of my, not the more recent, like in the last couple of months, 6 months maybe. It's some bitch from some article on white atheism. I was like, oh my god. And she was actually at Reason Rally and spoke at that. And this is
really?
Jay,
Yeah.
are you eating something?
No, I've just got a fresh bottle of water out of the freezer.
Oh, I heard some slurping.
Guinea pig. He's like a little hamster.
That sound. I was like, oh my god, what is that?
God. Wrapping his Austin Powers teeth around that little nipple.
Oh, you love it, Devin. Now calm down.
Now calm down.
So what's the plan today, fellas? What are we all doing?
Who knows? I gotta get food at some point. That's all I know.
I'm just celebrating the liberation of hearing Tristan's voice.
Yay!
Yay!
Aimee was giving some of the most disinterested,
She was losing it.
She doesn't even hear herself do it. She just drops that.
I know. It's just like so bad. I can't even. I'm just. However, I feel like it's out on blast.
It's like a verbal teabag every time she says it.
Verbal teabag.
Aimee, I have this really funny story that happened to me yesterday in New Orleans. Can I tell you about it? Oh, okay. Well, that was weird, but I'll disregard that weird energy. So yeah, yesterday I was. Get to the end. What does this have to do with my Instagram? Nothing.
Oh my god! I never talk about my Instagram.
Yeah, you just do it. You just are filtering.
Oh dear.
I gotta follow you on Instagram.
How rude! You don't even follow me.
I had a fan Instagram me from Australia, and like they have these videos on there. This is gonna sound like I've just discovered it, but where you play the video, but you can only play it once or twice. And it's gone forever.
Yeah.
That's the story. The snap. It's like Snapchat.
Right, which is an interesting form of communication because it adds value to it. The fact that it's fleeting and you only get to see it once.
Mm-hmm.
Even the
Oh my god!
I mean,
stop it.
This is like torture. Like instead of a firing squad, they should just bring Aimee out and have the guy tell a story and just have him.
Is it really that bad?
The guy's like, I didn't murder my wife. I've been framed. I'm an innocent man. I don't. I sentence you to 10 ahas from Aimee.
I guess it's kind of funny.
I just noticed it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we all have weird things that we do, right? When we talk, like little things. Devin, you smack your mouth. You go a lot.
I do?
Yeah, you do. You do that a lot. It's cute. Yeah, you do.
Now you make.
Well,
now he's gonna be conscious of it.
well, I cut it out in videos sometimes.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I don't know why you
Mm.
would want to cut it.
Well, whatever works. Now that I've been insulted, I've sent out about 2,000 insults today. But now that I've taken an insult, yeah.
Is that an insult? I'm not insulting you, you goober.
This is Smackgate.
Lip Smackgate.
I'm gonna go take a shower and head out into the French Quarter.
All right. Well, you have fun. Be safe, okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, bye. Mwah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Jay's still there.
What?
Is Jay still here?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
here, Billy. I'm still here, Billy.
Yeah.
How come you say? How come you pronounce your H's and other people don't? Jay.
Who?
You.
I don't know what
to here. Some people don't say here in Britain; they say ear, right?
Here, yeah. I'm over here, mate.
Yeah, over here, mate. How come you don't do that? It's not a Bristolian accent or the accent of that region.
Actually, it's quite common here. People go over here.
Over here. Yeah.
Over here. Yeah, it's a kind
Have you
of
seen
southern
it?
thing, really.
Now they say like they don't put the H in have either. Like, have you seen it?
Have you seen
Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
have you seen it?
Yeah. But my accent's quite a general accent. I don't really have a regional accent. All over the UK as a kid.
Yeah, that's true. You moved around a lot.
Yes, so my accent's quite like bastardized. All fucked up, mate.
Better on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter.
you
my
do
area.
put out your T's though.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a northern thing. That is. Cut out
Twitter.
T's, yeah.
Yeah,
That's on the Twitter.
That's our R's.
Jay has this thing where he puts an ER at the end of something that ends in an A, like Canada.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always
Canada.
come out. It comes out sometimes. It doesn't always come out. But it'll say like Canada.
Yeah.
There's some words that it does happen on.
Yeah.
I've noticed that like how Canadians are depicted in certain memes and certain ways that they talk. Like I don't sound anything like that. Like hoser using some words. Hoser. Like the way they say it. Yeah. It sounds so awful.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird accent.
Like people say Merino sounds really Canadian. You guys say Merino sounds quintessentially Canadian.
Yeah,
I don't hear it though.
He doesn't talk like exaggerated Canadian.
Yeah.
I hear it in you, Amy. I hear
Yeah,
it in
you guys hear it in me too, but I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
it sounds like.
Don't always sound Canadian. It's just certain
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, it's super strange. Like I do say a boot sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't not.
All of Canada, like I guess it's regional, but there's like a range of abouts in Canada. You know,
there's a range of abouts.
Hard a boot.
It goes from a boot to a boat.
Yeah, to a boat or about. Like they really accentuate.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What about your beaver?
A boat. Yeah. A boat.
Yeah, what about your beaver?
Yeah,
eh?
that's right.
Oh,
A
maybe
boot.
like Scottish.
You just went to Europe and
Yeah. I used the Canadian words in European accent. Canadians have flip-flop heads out there. Yeah, they used to. Not anymore.
that's
I just
Not a
want
lot.
what a fantastic way of doing something on like South Park. Let's make all the Canadians
have
heads move.
floppy heads and beady eyes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So
great.
random and so hysterical for no reason.
I just
Jordan Peterson.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, and then there's Jordan
He's
Peterson.
got his things.
Weird accent.
Yeah, just Jordan Peterson is on one end of the scale and Marino's on the other in terms of degrees of Canadianness, I guess.
He's like, bottom. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Oh my god, when he says bloody.
What does he say?
have to think of a sentence. So he'll say something really stupid like, "You better pull up your bootstraps, sunshine." Oh my god.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, some shit like that.
He reads way too much fucking 50s sci-fi or something. That sounds like God, what's his name? The guy who wrote Super Troopers. That sounds just like something he would say.
Did anyone hear that shit? Jordan Peterson talking about Burger King. That shit is
yeah.
Was that was a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Someone
but
did a
it's
great job. Yeah.
Great great
Mhm.
impersonation of him. Like, and he used all the words he uses.
Oh, he's obnoxious, man. Seeing him talk in person is really obnoxious.
I can't listen to it. They just dropped.
I can't listen to that
those
jackass
interviews.
whatsoever.
But I didn't listen to it because I can't sit there.
I had to. I went to go see Sam Harris, and it was very obnoxious. His body language was very obnoxious. I
All the
just don't like him.
shirts in the audience.
Oh my god, you should have seen how you could clearly tell just by people's clothing choices who was on the Jordan Peterson side and who the Sam Harris people were. Like all the Jordan Peterson guys, there was this guy who was wearing this really bright green shirt with like a straw fedora, and there were like sliced limes on his shirt and really tight nut hugger pants. Like it was so gross. And they wear these like eccentric socks with like dress shoes, and the pants go around their ankles. Like it's very strange. Smart guys wearing like capri pants and shit. It's fucking weird, man. Like, those tight ones.
Waters. We were talking about that too yesterday. Right?
The tight ones are really strange to me. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Didn't Liquid Demons do a meme with that? Like he changed these 5 dudes in like preppy gear, and he put like Sargon.
Oh my gosh.
A bunch of the other European dudes walking. It's so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, I
remember
that. Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that? Like wearing these white fucking caprice, like fucking khaki pants. Oh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It's old.
I don't know if I saved that.
Oh, this dog's like crying over here.
I saved so many memes. I did.
She wants you to walk her. It's like you walk all these other fucking dogs. Walk me.
No, because they're my roommates. He left, so he's all like crying. Like,
oh, your dog? His dog.
Yeah, his dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You're there and he's still crying for his master. That's fucked.
Yeah, he doesn't always. It's just he's been in and out all day. I think he wants to hang out with him, I guess.
Oh, what was that?
Oh,
it's a YouTube win. Another YouTube. That's me. It was
Uh-oh.
some shit to shoot.
Oh, my song. I love that fucking song, man.
Yeah, me too. I love it. Got some shit to shoot.
I'm actually such a homo because I love that video that I made too.
That's an awesome video. That's
It's
why.
cute. It's
I'm
cute.
really hungry, so I think I'm gonna go get food.
All right, you do that, Alfie.
And I'll meet you guys later in a bit.
Okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna end this in about 20 minutes because I want to take a break before the next one. Okay, have fun. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys later, babe.
Bye.
There's Alf.
Billy, what are you doing for the day?
About to go to my girls and just chill.
Yeah. What's the weather like over there?
It's fucking hot as hell.
Really?
It's actually got cool today for the first time in weeks, but it's supposed to get worse again. So
Yeah. It's sunny here, but it's cooling down as well. Starting to get into September. Shit, it's September 1st. Shit, it's already September 1st.
Yeah.
Fuck. It just passes by so fast.
Jay, I was telling you earlier, Jay, about the comments I was getting.
Okay.
I got a notification today about a comment on like it was some other video, it wasn't one of my videos, so I go check what it is. And it's some comment. I look, there's 240 something comments down under it. I'm like, what? And it was on some like 9/11 video. And I just like people were like commenting their experience, so I like just commented, and like half the people like God was with you that day, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Barely like I said one thing about it, so now I'm getting all these comments back. But some other guy was like, you're a fucking liar, dude. That didn't happen. I'm just like, go fuck yourself. But there's all these people saying shit like that. There's so many people say you're lying that never happened. Like whatever happened that I said happened, which was barely nothing. Like it was barely anything. And they're freaking out. They're like, oh, you're just desperate for fucking attention. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm just telling a story like everyone else.
That's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
But it's crazy how there's like over 250 comments on it. And they're like, it's crazy that like 40 of them were from like the last week. And I'm like,
wow.
These videos like 3 years ago, I made this comment on a video. What the fuck? So random. So
Dude, I love the people who are like, hey, you just want attention. Isn't that essentially what you're doing by leaving a comment? You want attention too.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. Like, why is attention even a question? If anybody's posting anything to some degree, attention is wanted for it.
But what kind of attention am I really looking for?
Exactly. No, but like, I'm just saying, whether it's good or bad, whatever, that's why everybody posts whatever they post anytime. Like, it's not the sole reason and it should never be, but it's definitely an aspect of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is, and people need to get over that. It's like you're bitching about attention, but you're also posting a comment because of the same reason, and you're just failing to recognize it. They don't see their own shit. They just, everything they don't like about you, they're going to chalk up to some stupid tiny thing and just say, meh, you're this.
And it's funny because it wasn't even like the truthers that were annoying me. That were jumping in. It was just random people saying that I lied about this. And I'm like,
oh, God.
But it's not a crazy story. What is there to lie about? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's not like I was it said I was in the building and I ran out and all this shit. Nothing like that. Like, I wasn't in the building. I was near it. So like, and it wasn't that crazy a story. And like, people told me I were just commenting that I lied about it. I'm like, you're fucking.
I feel like some people just fucking say shit. You know what I mean?
So retarded.
Just because they need to be adversarial, because they're such fucking angry cunts.
I mean, I do it sometimes too. I can't deny it. I go and
whatever.
So they're like, oh, you fucking idiot.
But some people just, that's the thing they do. They spend hours and hours doing it.
I don't think I've ever told anyone they're lying though. Like, oh, you're a fucking liar. Why are you telling this fucking story? Like,
whatever. Fuck them, man. People are always gonna talk shit.
Comments are too crazy on YouTube at this
point.
Oh
yeah, they are. I think they're meaningless, to be honest.
I can't deal with it anymore. I don't bother half of them. All I do is heart comments now, or barely comment. Once in a while, I comment back, and then it's a disaster.
It is a disaster. I agree. I couldn't be bothered to leave comments. I just come here, do whatever I want, and then I'm gone. I'll interact with some people, though. Some people will say something nice, but it's like I am gonna treat it like it's my space, right? So
if I know you'll probably get a reply.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if your comment in the first place is really nice, that it managed to catch my attention, then meh.
Yeah, some people left me comments that were like, honestly, I watched this and this is my opinion. Like, I think that you were talking over or whatever it was. There was one that someone left that I was like, hey, thanks for the feedback. Because it was like not rude. It was nice and it was just laid out nicely. And I'm like, you know what? Thanks for the feedback. I'll consider that. But at the same time, right, I didn't really care to have respect or care and through any of this air quotes debate. So a lot of people didn't get that part of it. But, you know, sometimes people are just, they're well-intentioned. Sometimes, very rarely, I should say.
I look for some fun ones.
Do you have some now? Are you looking for some now?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through them.
Yeah, if you find any funny ones, read them. Jay, what have the comments been like for you lately? Have you even been paying attention?
Oh, that's a good one.
A little bit. They kind of go in one ear and out the other. Well, in one eye and out the other.
Yeah. They have to, though. They have to be like that. It has to be like that.
Oh, yeah. One comment earlier was
oh, this is a good one. This is one of the worst YouTube channels I have ever seen. Fake Joe Rogan.
What? Oh my god, fake Joe Rogan.
So random.
Yeah, no kidding.
I got one here. I'm at 6 minute 53. I am now a fan of yours, mate. You just made yourself a target. You have a fatwa on you.
Oh my god.
Still, you brother.
Dear Lord.
I'm in your corner. If you ever find yourself need security, this guy fell in love with me, basically.
Yeah, that's cute.
Oh, I'm starting to get like a lot of haters. That's funny.
Oh, I blocked one good one. Fuck, now I can't find it. The guy who told me to shut up and ask Phil questions about shit and don't fucking talk about yourself. That one fucking made me laugh.
Hey, Chris Hollowisky, as Dan says. Hollowisky. What up, Doug?
We are streaming with him later.
Yes, we are. Around 6 o'clock, right?
That's right. Which is like 10 o'clock his time.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll be 7 my time. Hi, Christopher. I see you, Christopher. I thought he was sleeping, or he'd be sleeping right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Read me more if you find some.
All right.
All right, 7 o'clock. Hey, what's happening? Oh, wait, what? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this. I'm going to go and I'm going to shower, I think. That's what I'm going to do. I'm such a lazy piece of shit right now. Did you see what I was wearing? My shirt had a hole in each armpit. Oh my gosh. Thanks for coming, guys.
All right.
And adding some fun. I'm going to go take a shower and be less lazy. And then Chris Hollowisky, we'll see you in a bit. Jamie, I'll see you in a bit. Are you going to take a nap?
Yeah, because it's not for like 4 hours.
Yeah, okay. You should. It's about 4 hours.
All right. Good
All
night.
right. All right, guys. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming, chat. Bye.
Bye.